Well, hello, everybody. Welcome to the show. It's been a weekend.
A
Various
weekend.
things have gone on. Yeah, well, you guys are still on Sunday, aren't you? Um,
Yep.
but of course, we lost a little bit of a legend this weekend. And we will, of course, be getting into that. Actually, several people died this weekend. It was kind of one of those weekends. But the great and mighty Chuck Norris has passed away. Uh, Not only
Just
entertain.
let me correct you just real quick. Chuck Norris did not die. Chuck Norris beat life.
Oh yeah,
He's
no,
beating
no.
it.
There is
Yeah,
no mourning. The guy
that's
had
right.
86 years old, had an amazing freaking life, was
Yep.
successful at everything he did, and along the way turned out to be a nice fella. How do you do that?
And he was named Carlos. What?
Yeah, yeah, that's
What?
right. But because that's the thing that gets me with their absolute level of fame. Because he's literally an American icon, right?
Yeah.
He's not just a celebrity or a famous actor. He's an icon. Those are rare. And but along the way, he still remained to be very gracious, kind, could easily have a take a laugh at himself.
Yep.
Supported so many charities, so many efforts. Not even when he was older, just when he was younger, he was one of the main people involved in the establishment of American karate,
Yep.
which has become quite the thing, right? But what a life to be celebrated. And unfortunately, he passed away kind of sudden, as those things do, because he's pretty healthy. But he's 86. I mean, come on.
Yep.
So
Yep.
no tears, of course, for Chuck. He lived an amazing life, and just you know want to honor him today. And we're going to talk about his career and his life a little bit, amongst other things. But beyond that, I had a pretty quiet weekend. I had to run my wife away around shopping on the Saturday, but I got my Sunday basically off. You know,
Nice.
that was nice. I just kind of lounged around the house, did very little, which
Yep.
is, for a day, which is nice. How was your weekend?
It was swell, Chester. Let's see. What did I get up to this weekend? Not much because we had. Well, I say not much. We had. We had one of these. You know how it is in the Midwest and up in the Northwest or Northeast. You get spring and then you get winter again, and then
Yep,
you get spring and then you get winter again. Sometimes
sure.
in the same day, right? Sometimes in the
Sometimes,
same day.
that's right. Sometimes all the way up into frickin' June.
Yeah. So we were having one of those weekends. So we had a little bit of nice weather on Saturday. We went out and took a nice little walk with the dog. Did some, normal, not shopping really, but like returning stuff and that kind of shit.
Hmm.
Uh, and then like bought something super cheap. And then today, the wife did her nails, and it took her basically all day because she does her own nails. She does her own acrylics or whatever they are. But she does like really fancy. Like
Yeah,
if she
I've
sold these
seen what the kids
services,
do. Yeah,
no. If she sold these services, she could charge like $500, kind of stuff. Like that's how fancy they are. Um, and she does it herself, so it takes some time. But so mainly, I just hung out here. And then we tried to go for another walk today. We walked outside and we were like, well, we're not going to the park because it's way too chilly and windy. Not for me, I'd been fine, but for the wife. So we just walked around our block. And other than that, just hanging out. Hanging out. Good time to hang out. But spring's trying, you see. It's
yeah,
really trying to come in, but winter is just like, not yet. Even though technically it's spring today. Today it's spring, officially. Uh, it's trying its damnedest to come in. I would like to have a spring because one of the things that happens here a lot is you go from 30 degrees to 80, and that's it. That's it. Right? We go boom boom, and then you're done. You don't get a spring weather. You don't get that nice sunny spring weather. You just get hot. You get cold, and then you get hot, and it's like I don't want that. I want that nice long stretch of that like 55 to 75 degree weather where it's sunny, a little breezy, a little, but mostly just sunny. I want spring. Damn it! Can I have spring, please? Am I allowed to have a spring? Hopefully this year we will have one. I thought we were going to get one early because a couple weeks ago It was like 75 degrees outside. I said, "What's going on in the middle of March?"
Right.
But it was real nice. And then it didn't last. Then we got more snow because of course we did because fuck you. That's why. That's what winter does. Get you all excited, get you all revved up, and then it gets cold again.
Yep.
But that was my weekend. My weekend was dealing with the ridiculousness that is American weather. It's preposterous what it
It
does.
is.
Back
It
and
is.
forth.
No, up in Rhode Island, I definitely saw a full-on snowstorm in May, and I've actually
Yeah.
seen flurries in June.
Yeah, me too. Uh-huh.
So what's that all about?
Yep.
But then again, to be fair, the only reason we can live in that area, particularly up in New England and England, is because of the Gulf Stream, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's the only reason. If that thing shut down, which it does from time to time, we ain't living there. It's bad,
Yep.
right? Because a lot of people, once again, don't understand. You're still in the freaking ice age, dumbass.
Yep.
Anyway, sorry for the
It's
dumbass, but I couldn't
it's still
resist.
really cold.
It is very cold compared to what it used to be. Um,
Mm-hmm.
and the funny thing is, in those points where we had spots of much warmer weather in modern, the past 10,000 years,
Mm-hmm.
humans thrived, right?
That's right. Well, it's
So,
it's funny to me that these people go on and on and on about warming and climate change and what have you. One of their main arguments is that humans can't take X, Y, or Z heat. And then I go, well, wait a minute. There's places on the planet right now that's that hot, and I bet you if I look, there's people living there.
yep,
So
and
what are we
they're
talking
doing it.
about?
Yeah,
Yeah,
no,
they're
I
they're
mean,
there.
we had a period after the younger Dryas relapse ice age, lasted about 2,500 years. It kind of led into the cities of Mesopotamia, Sumeria, right?
Mm-hmm.
2,500 years, much warmer than it is now. Yeah.
Yep.
So it happens all the time. We got a Grimlock. We are joined, sir.
He's here.
Yes,
He
sir.
has arrived.
Hi. We're going to be talking about the man, the myth, the absolute legend, Chuck Norris today. So strap in. But
Uh,
and I'm going to
I
be
figured we
asking.
would.
Yeah, well, of course. So I'm going to be asking everybody, and that includes you over in the chat. What is which is your favorite Chuck Norris movie? Now, I know some of you got to pick that TV show, Walker, Texas Ranger.
Walker.
Fair enough.
Oh, Walker. Yep.
I saw a few episodes, and it's fine. But I'm much more. I'm older, so I'm much more of a movie Chuck guy. And then as he
Mm-hmm.
got older, I just appreciated all the charity and all the work he did, and just how nice a person he stayed. Because he could have become an arrogant jerk, and it would be hard to blame him, right? But
Yep.
no, no, just a genuinely good human, actual good, I mean, legitimately, legitimate Christian. We get a lot of people, particularly, politicians, that would get up there and talk about how a God this and how God that. They're
Yep.
not religious. Don't believe
Mm-hmm.
the hype, dude. But Chuck was an actual Christian. And of course, I've seen some slags sit there and try to knock him because, oh, did you know he was a Republican?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and there's
As all good Christians
millions
should
of
be.
them. So I don't know what your problem is. There are millions.
Apparently, there's about 78 million of them.
Well, more,
So
more, more.
yeah.
But
Uh.
it doesn't matter. It's very few absolute slags that are being stupid. Everyone else is showing respect or just not saying anything. But Chuck was a genuinely good man. But
Yeah.
and we'll be getting into that a little bit. But before we do, I do want to kind of do my roundup that I do real quick, and we'll just get into what we're doing today. So we'll see. I don't know if the show will run as long as usual today, but we'll see. However, just to round up, I always start over here in Asia. Japan's doing well. The media is stupid, but the people aren't. And of course, Trump's administration just shines nothing but love on the Japanese. So he keeps giving them deal after deal after deal. And fair enough. I mean, because we know they're going to come through with it.
Yeah.
It's
Are
guaranteed.
are 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 they shitting the bed over that joke the way these faggots over here are?
Oh yeah,
No.
absolutely. Yeah. Yeah. Well, the
Really?
media
Are they?
is.
I
The media is. I
well,
haven't.
yeah, but the media don't count. All the
No.
media in the world is run by angry communist Jews, even in
Yeah.
Japan. That's why they're
Well,
all liberals.
we'll find out. I haven't really interacted with any adults since he said that. This week I will, and we'll see. Today I'll see what they have, and if they have any consternations about it, I'll just laugh at them.
Because I have
Stop
to
being
say,
pussies.
Stop being a
the
bunch of pussies.
motherfucker's timing on that was fucking.
Oh, bro,
That
even
was
Bill Maher,
It
who
was.
he's not a big pro-Trump guy at all. Even he was
No,
like, "Come on, that if anybody else had said that, that's pretty funny."
it is
That
funny,
was pretty
and
funny.
he kind of tried to soften it a little bit after the fact. I wish he didn't do that.
Yeah.
But that's okay. You can cut the clip right where he
but
just lays it out because
his
it's freaking hilarious.
his his timing. There are professional comedians who wish they could have timed it
Yep.
end the delivery like he
Right.
fucking did.
Well, yeah. I mean, who's going to tell Japanese about surprise? The kings of surprise. I mean, why didn't you warn me about Pearl Harbor? I mean, well, me, as if he was even
Yeah,
alive and
him
doing anything.
specifically. By
Yeah.
the way, warn him about it.
You know, but it was funny, and of course it's
Oh.
true. And basically, it was him just being kind of soft and saying, "Well, fuck you, buddy, for that question," is what he
Yeah,
was
what a
really
ridiculous
doing.
question. First of
Um,
all,
uh,
yeah,
yeah,
we're gonna tell everybody, hey, guess what? We're about to blow you up. We're
yeah,
just
but
gonna let you know. We're gonna tell you right where. What? Of course, we're
even
not gonna do that.
even if we were like informing certain people involved in the situation, why the hell would we ever bring Japan into military shit? I'm
Right,
Japan.
especially since their navy doesn't leave over there for any
No,
reason.
they
Like,
can't by
what are we
law.
doing?
They're not allowed
Yeah,
by
I
law.
know. That's what I'm saying. They're not going anywhere. What are we gonna? Hey, guess what? Hey, guess what? Guys who can't do anything or help us about this at all, we're gonna hit Iran. Okay, that'd be the response. Okay. Because what am I supposed to do? What am I supposed to
Uh,
say?
Yeah, no, it was
tell
dumb,
us
but it
how
was
it
funny.
goes.
That's how it
Yeah,
goes.
good
Yeah.
luck.
Good luck. Yeah. Power
Shit.
on,
And first
brother.
of
You,
all, we
you
have
need
to
a
stop pretending that Japan, as much as I love Japan, and I do, there are a great friend of
Probably the
America
best friends we have, to be honest with
after
you.
being one of our greatest enemies. They're a great friend, but they are not a military ally. We have to
No.
stop using that word.
Although
They're
their
not an ally
military
to
is
us
pretty
militarily.
powerful, though.
It is, and that's good. I want it to be stronger. I fully support. As an American nationalist, I support Japanese nationalism.
Hmm.
I think they should amend their constitution. I think they should get a military up to
That'll never
par
happen.
again.
I
Well,
guarantee
I
you
hope
that'll
that it
never
does.
happen. Yeah, it
But
won't happen.
regardless, my point is, they're not a military ally. They're an ally in every other way, but we don't have military allies. If anything, that's what Iran's proven. America. The reason being is because nobody's even close.
No, they're
Nobody's
not.
even remotely close. That's like the Romans picking some random tribe somewhere in like Scythia and be like, yeah, they're our allies. What?
Well, the
That's
Scythians are a
ridiculous.
major pain in the ass, but I get your point.
Yes.
But yeah, no, that's true. But what happened in this? Because Trump said offhand, we don't really need anybody's help. But
Yep.
you showed your true colors there, Europe.
Right.
You showed who you are, right? Especially Britain, but all of them really. But Britain is falling so fast. Now it's been coming a while. They've been destroying their culture and their people for decades. To be fair, it's not all
Hmm.
Starmer, but this guy is so feckless. He's so in bed with the Muslims. And what's happening to the British people is really quite disgusting. But then again, same thing happened to Sweden. Look what they did to them.
Yep.
And we're starting to see some of the European countries fight back a little bit. Italy, to be sure. The Dutch, the Danes a little bit, and of
Even the
course
Germans.
even the Germans a little bit. But the East Europeans have just been laughing the whole time because they know right well about socialism. They don't need you to.
Well, they know right well about Muslims. They
They
want
do.
no business with them. They'll
Nope.
put their heads on a spike. They've done it before.
Well,
They
they
don't want
have.
nothing to
I
do with
mean,
them.
they were the wall that kept them the hell out, right?
Yes.
I
Yes.
mean, and they did an amazing job. There are so many battles that we could cover. of the
Oh,
Europeans keeping a freaking absolute horde out of Europe, and
yeah.
that's including the Ottomans and of course the Tartarian movements with Genghis Khan, right?
Mm-hmm.
All of that stuff, Tamerlane's rampages. They were the wall that kept all those hordes out, and they did it
Yep.
in incredibly small numbers. Mehmet was the third, I think. The Battle of Prague. If you want to study anyone, go study that one because it's ridiculous. There were
It's pretty good.
300 fucking knights. 300.
Yeah.
He
That's
had
right.
100,000 freaking soldier army, legit,
Yep. Yep.
and they whooped their ass.
Yeah, that's right.
Now
That's what
they
that
had,
European
yeah,
steel will do for you,
and
right there.
now, to be fair, they got a priest over there. I can't remember his name, but a priest rallied the people who literally came and had, pitchforks and shit like in a movie, legitimately,
Yeah.
real, right? And
The
then
rabble.
the knights were kind of following the standard order of battle, but the priests that got them so riled up, but they just charged into battle, and the knights were like, "Oh shit, charge!" And
I
in
guess
they
we're doing
went.
this.
We're doing it. And in they went and they whooped their ass, dude.
And then they
It's
got in there and like, man, this is easy. Why is this so easy? It's like
yeah.
mowing grass. What are
Because
we
well,
doing?
probably because the Muslims were just as shocked as the Knights. What the fuck?
Yeah.
Uh, uh,
Are they
yeah.
really doing this?
But there's another story around the same time because Mehmet was trying to, take Europe, right? He failed.
Yeah.
But there's another story that he wasn't with them, but he had one of his generals, a much smaller group, but it was thousands of them trying to march in through the northern passage there, near Estonia and stuff, Finland. And they ran into a group of random Vikings, Northmen,
Uh
uh,
oh.
just random. Right? And there was no reason or purpose. They just happened to run into each other. Now they killed
Yeah.
all the Scandinavians. All the Scandinavians died. All
Hmm.
114 of them. But they reduced that army to such a point that within 2 days of running after that, they ran into more random Northmen. They were gone.
Yeah. Yeah. Get
Right?
them out of here.
Yeah. Literally just
Fleas.
random group of 100 Northmen took out thousands of them, dude.
Not even the elites. Just randos.
Yeah, just
Just the
randos.
level one berserkers out here
Yeah,
taking them out.
yeah, dude. But I mean, the point being is those East Europeans are the wall. They
Yep.
fought so many bloody battles to keep the damn Muslims out. They know right well. Their countries are
Yep.
literally established because of that. Now
That's
they
right.
leaked in, the Muslims leaked in the Mediterranean up into Spain, and we literally had to just push them into the sea. And of course,
Hmm.
this is all where Charlemagne got his fame, right? Um,
Right.
that's why he became so famous, was because of his battles in Spain. And
Hmm.
I'm pretty sure. I mean, I don't think he actually finished the job. It was the guy after him that finished it. It was the
No, yeah, it was later.
Merovingian, wasn't it? Yeah, I think it was the
Yeah, it was later.
Merovingians that finished it. But
Took about 700 years, give or
anyway,
take.
yeah, Europe's in trouble. India is having odd troubles because it turns out their people are ridiculously untrustworthy and are causing
No.
trouble everywhere they go.
Indians?
Yeah, and there's a lot of people pushing them out. There's noise everywhere about Indians all of a sudden. It's because they've been moving in mass, um, right? But Thailand is the funny one.
Yeah.
It's not, well, it's tragic and funny because the
Yeah.
Thai, I don't know how many of you guys have ever been to Thailand. If you haven't, I'd suggest you do. It's wonderful. Um, now, if it's not the cleanest place in the world, but then again, most places outside of the West,
Are
the elite
filthy.
West are kind of dirty, right?
Hmm.
Um, I'd say the cleanest places in America are probably your New Englanders, and then of course over here you got the Japanese are just pedantic as hell about cleanliness.
Where the Hawaiians
Scandinavians,
are.
yeah, where the white people are pretty silly about
Whatever they ain't niggas.
Yeah,
well,
pretty much. Yeah.
well, no, I get your point. I've seen it, but I've seen white trash that's filthy as hell too. But
Yeah.
I've actually
Well, them
most of the
niggas
black
too.
people I met were actually really clean. Actually, I mean they were really
Well, if that's
pedantic
Chester.
about it.
That's because you're not delineating again. He didn't say black people. He said a
Oh,
specific word that I can't say on YouTube.
oh, that's right. Yeah. He said urbanite. I apologize. Well, I
Yes,
don't
right.
know. I haven't met too many of them who I knew personally.
Yeah.
Most of the black people I met were just, Americans.
Well, that's most of them. The
Yeah.
problem, the problem they have in their community is those ones
They
are
were
too
real cute.
quiet.
Yeah.
They let the loud, obnoxious, obstinate losers be the voice of their people, and it
Yeah.
fucks everything up.
I actually dated this little mulatto girl, cute little thing, kind of skinny, but not so skinny that you're like, ugh, she's skinny, but
Hmm.
like at the edge of it, you know.
Hmm.
But cute little thing, and boy, well, anyway, I'm going to get into that. But she,
I take it your wife's sitting there.
no, she's not, but it's early. But anyway, cute little thing I was dating, and her dad, I think he was like a mulatto Latino guy. I mean, he was a lighter skinned black
So,
dude.
so a Latino guy.
Yeah. Well, yeah, I'll get your point. Yeah, the Moors. We were just talking about the Moorish invasion, weren't we? But
Yeah.
the mom was pretty standard American black lady, right? And
Mhm.
I have other examples, but I'm just giving this one because it was so extreme. Their house was so freaking clean and decorated. It was quite beautiful, actually. Little a home is where the heart is signs. I mean, all kind of. It was well decorated and it was super clean. And it was to such an extreme that they literally had plastic on the furniture,
Yep.
right?
Yeah.
Which I've experienced a lot more than you guys did because that was still a thing with the elder generation above me, right?
Hmm.
But that place was crazy, crazy clean. Which I appreciate. I have no problem with it. But
I think I've mentioned this before. When I was a teenager, my first girlfriend that I remember, that was actually like a girlfriend. I was like 13. Was she lived across? I lived out in the rural Ohio, so there wasn't a lot of darks out there. There was mostly just a bunch of white people, right? And this girl was mulatto. She was, like they look, but she was a little cutie pie. And she
yeah,
lived right across the street, diagonal, because I lived on a corner, right at the county. The county line was. I had three different counties that intersected right where I lived. So I lived right on this corner, and she lived across the street in this big ass house that they had just built. They just bought. It was farmland up most of my life, but that somebody had just bought it and put a house there. Big ass, like 3-story house, just a huge house.
nice.
And she was a little cutie pie. I do not remember her name for the life of me though,
Oh, I
but
can't
I
remember her
remember
name
her.
either.
The reason I remember her so much is because we were hanging out and I was driving a little RC car around, right? Just hanging out in my driveway. She was all over me basically while I was doing that. And my older sister, pulls in and he goes, mm-hmm, because she had been teasing me that I got a black girlfriend. She thought it was funny. She pulls in and sees that, and I'm like, shut up.
Right.
She starts
Hey,
teasing
man,
me right to my face. Get out of here.
cute is cute, nice is nice. It doesn't really
Yeah, no,
matter.
she was a
Um,
sweetheart. I don't remember what happened to her. I think they moved away.
this girl, I think her name started with S. I can't remember her name. But just as an example of cleanliness. I've seen a lot
Yep.
of black people who are super clean. But Thailand was what I was talking about. And
Hmm.
wonderful place. And the Indians are seeing a little green recently, right?
Yep.
All the call centers and all those kind of jobs are just pouring into India like mad, and a lot of companies have moved out of China and rebuilt in India. Some of them in Thailand and Vietnam, even Cambodia is getting a little bit of love. Indonesia, but India's gotten a lot. So they've got some green here over the past decade, and but they're still not wealthy enough where they can afford to go to, say, Germany or New York or something like that, right? So they've been taking their trips in Thailand. And you're getting, I don't know, there's some kind of push with some tour agency. I don't know what's happening, but they've got a huge glut of Indians just coming into Thailand, which isn't in of itself a problem, right? Money's money. It
Hmm.
is a service-based industry. I mean, they got farming of one of the best farming cultures in the world, actually. But the problem is the Indians think the Thai are nothing better than a monkey in their attitude. They're
Excellent.
extremely racist and arrogant toward them. They're filthy as hell. And I kind of let off, which got us in that tangent about Thai not being the cleanest place. But India, ha! They told them to hold their damn beer because frickin' India is filthy. Filthy. It's so disease ridden and dirty that I simply won't go. me personally. And I'm a
Ooh,
traveler, right? I go all over the world. But I ain't going there. You can't pay me enough, right? So they leave their trash everywhere. Once again, they have no respect. They're rude and they're just causing a lot of trouble. A lot of trouble. And it's not violence where they're attacking. It's not that kind of problem, right? But it's just this real burden on the society to the point that the people have been calling on the king to, make a declaration in regards to this because we need to stop it. But and of course, this king is kind of feckless and he's useless. So we'll see. But Thailand's having problems with the Indians. The Middle East, well, do I need to tell you? Iran. You know, um, and
ooh.
they've decided to pick a fight with everybody around them. Everybody. I'm still a little bit flabbergasted by this. The level of stupidity is beyond what I imagined they would have. I mean, I know they're dumb.
Yep.
But holy crap, dude. They've literally and continue to use whatever they can get away with, whatever they can throw at all of their enemies around them. They've hardly put any pressure on the Americans at all, which, to be fair, is kind of hard to do. But you would think they'd at least be trying to, focus fire or something. Something one will
Yep.
get through, right? But no, they just, screw you, other Muslims. It's that Shia Sunni thing. In the end, that's what really matters to them, I guess. But
Yep.
absolute cataclysm going on over there. There's the Saudis are still talking about we might get involved. Yeah, when pigs fly, Saudi
Uh
Arabia.
huh.
They keep saying that and doing nothing. However, the people inside of Iran are really stepping up, which is awesome. So we just gotta have to watch that. But don't listen to all the stupidity that you see on the frickin' news. I have seen mainstream, not just some idiot YouTuber. You know, speaking of, but I've seen mainstream news. Like CNN and NBC saying America is being defeated in Iran. What?
And what? But I
What?
and
What have
the
we
next
lost?
logical question: on what metric? In what
There
way?
is a no metric.
I'm
There,
aware. Like I see these people all over. I see these broadcasts. I see all these people saying these sorts of things that Iran's kicking America's ass. I'm like, what? We live in a parallel reality with these people. These people live in a parallel reality. In what way are they kicking anybody's ass? They've lost thousands of their military. They've lost basically all of their military, if we're being honest. They got
hardware.
decimated
Yeah.
utterly. Uh, and
Now you did that
yet
just to piss me
somehow,
off. I know you did.
every time, and yet somehow we're supposed to be led to believe that America is in full retreat. I even saw people say that if Trump's like, "All right, we got what we came for," and leaves, that means that we lost. What? In what way?
I don't understand this. I know they're all liars and it's all political, but dude, the America has taken no damage.
Yeah.
We had a few people die in the initial strikes, and that's even before we were involved. That's when Israel was doing stuff, and we hadn't really moved yet. And we didn't know that they were going to just start attacking their Muslim neighbors because the people who
Right.
died were like in a base in Qatar or Riyadh or something, right? They were at a base. They weren't nothing. They had nothing to do with the any attack we were planning. They're just simply military personnel in the region as we have, and that's all we've lost. I think there was a friendly fire incident on one of our tankers, but that
Yep.
was just I forget which country that was, but it wasn't Iran. Other than that, that's pretty much it. We haven't lost anything. We haven't done any battles because we're not in battles. We just took them off the water and we took them out of the sky. And whenever they fire a missile, we destroy whatever they used. And it's a matter of attrition now. The thing uh, in the bay there, that strait of the Hormuz. The problem with that isn't even a military one. It's just some dudes in the middle of the night on a little teeny fishing boat just dropping a mine in the water. Right? That's what that is,
Right.
and that won't last very long at all. So I just don't understand the. this is, like NBC, CBS, CNN, these big networks saying America is losing, and it's like, how, what, Grimlock, explain this. This is really dumb, dude. It's epic level dumb.
This is what we've been dealing with for the past 10 years.
Yeah, I guess. I'm glad I don't
This kind
have
of
to.
stupidity. Yes,
Uh,
you're to quote the old CCR song, you are a rather fortunate son.
I am. I am. But he was saying that Fortune Sons are bad. So you're calling me a rich white boy that doesn't have to take responsibility. Thank you very much, Grimlock. But
Well,
uh,
you don't have to take responsibility for this stupidity. So
No, I
yeah,
don't. No, I don't. But Africa is, Africa. Do I really need? Come on. It's constantly at war with itself, constantly in poverty, constantly doing everything it can to stay there. So I don't know why we haven't have to worry. However, we do have a couple of positive things. Venezuela. Wow, how quick was that turnaround, dude?
Pretty quick. Yeah.
Holy cow! They're already in the black, dude. Is it been 2 months?
hmm,
I mean,
No.
I can't believe how quickly that's turned around. Of course, we know Argentina; they had an amazing year and they're doing great. So good for Milei. But Venezuela, I mean, goodness gracious, Trump got that done. Is he going to get any credit for that? I wonder.
No.
no,
No, no. Looks like Cuba's making a deal. So yeah, that's another little feather in the cap there. Um, the Albertans just had a vote, by the way, and they have voted to actually begin the process of secession. So that's happening. We know that many of the other provinces are making similar noise. But honestly, even if it's just Alberta that leaves, and I thought it would be British Columbia first because they were making the most active noise. But it looks like it's going to be Alberta. However, if Alberta leaves, that's the end of Canada anyway. So it doesn't really matter what anyone else does. You got that. I haven't heard much on Greenland. You guys heard anything on Greenland?
We got what we wanted, and that was it.
Did we get what we wanted? What did we want?
Well, what he wanted was to be able to control that waterway. What he was saying is, so Trump did his classic ask for everything, offer
Yeah, right.
nothing
Yeah, yeah.
move that he does. And everybody, of course, yet again, fell for it because they're retarded. And what he really wanted was he wanted his bases, or he wanted land rights and some mineral. I think he got some mineral rights too in certain parts. So Greenland stays with Denmark, which is fine, and we get control of the waterway effectively,
Oh,
which
I
is what we
wanted
wanted.
Greenland.
Well, that might come around. We'll see. I think he should have just took it personally. What the fuck's Europe gonna do? Get mad? Oh no, not Europe. Oh, poor babies. I am so sick of coddling these countries that refuse to defend themselves. We could do
Yeah.
anything we wanted, and the fact that America doesn't is a testament to our mercy. I'm begging for a full-on imperialist empire
Well, I mean, they're
president.
they're lucky we're not imperialists because then they
Yeah,
get a taste. Because they
yeah,
don't understand what they're saying. They really don't.
no, no.
If we,
Somebody literally said, I saw this person say this, that Denmark forced America to stand down. Uh huh. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
by
No.
capitulating.
Yeah. Yes. Because they were preparing for full on military war.
Oh, were
Uh
they?
huh.
Uh huh.
Yeah, I
Is
bet they
that
were.
12 people they
That's
sent?
cute.
That 12?
That's real cute, guys. You're real
Yeah,
funny.
yeah. But
We have
let's.
more troops in Germany alone than they could muster in 3 years. What are we talking about?
Oh well, we
What are
got
we
like
talking about?
30, 40,000 people in Germany, right?
No, yeah,
50,000.
50 in
Yeah,
50 in Germany. Yeah,
yeah,
in Ramstein.
yeah. But the simple fact of the matter is, I'm really happy with what's going on in Iran. Because to be fair, we should have done something 47 years ago. Of the whole world. I mean, the UN keeps talking about peace and bringing the world together, and what have they done? Show me one thing the United Nations has done since its inception. Um, It's useless. But Yeah, I mean, so that's what the wrap up is in the world. It's not much changed. Situation in Iran is wrapped up real nice, and we've been able to demonstrate exactly what our power looks like, and that's really good because we talk about it, but we haven't shown it. But anyway, that's that. So let me just go ahead and go over here and talk about Chuck Norris because that's much more fun. hmm hmm hmm
Yep. Old Chucky boy.
But first, before we get into that, well, let's acknowledge another pat. We had a lot of people pass away. I chose two to take a look at. Go ahead.
Sam Keith, creator of the Max and Sandman artist, dies at 63.
It's pretty young.
Well,
It's
that was
pretty
another
young.
one.
That's another one. Yeah, we've lost a bunch of comic book people over the past few years. 63 is really too young, to be honest with you. Now, Sam Keith, of course, a lot of people know him for the Max. It even got its own animated series, and it's all right. I was never a huge fan of the Max, but what I do love is Sam's run on Wolverine and Juggernaut as well, right?
Mm.
I love his Wolverine. You see a little glimpse of it there behind him, but just to show a little bit of his art here. I've always loved this picture. It's so brooding Wolverine. It's great. Um, but Of course, he did many other things as well. Of course, he has his Max, and but this is another cover that I really enjoyed. Let me pop that up a little bit. There we go. Just I don't know why, Grimlock, but I've always loved this freaking cover, dude. Look at it, so
Be
pretty.
good.
Yeah, it's really really good. But He did a lot of great art. His art is very very recognizable. He has very exaggerated anatomy and the way he does things. But of course, as you can see, he can also do normal stuff too, as you see with the background. Uh, but um, but yeah, I'm definitely a Sam Keith fan. And Safe journeys, dude. He also did a lot of art, and he's really one of the reasons Neil Gaiman was able to do what he get his foot in, right? Because of him. And of course, Neil went on to do quite a few things and be accused of many other things. And boy, the adventures these guys get up to, you know.
Yeah.
Anyway, I'll just leave that right there. This article goes into a little bit. If you're a comic book person, you know exactly who Sam Keith is anyway. Like I said, his Max was very popular, but for me, and his Sandman stuff's great too. But for me, it was the Wolverine. Now, Grimlock, you're a comic book guy, so I'm assuming you know who Sam Keith is. Um,
Oh yes.
any thing to add to that?
Um, from what I heard about him, what he was going through in his final years, that dementia,
Oh
with the
wow,
dementia and Alzheimer's,
so young, dude.
so a very rough way to go. Um, Sam had a very unique art style. Like you always like he's one of those few artists where you could just look at it and go, Sam Keith.
Instantly, you know who it's Sam Keith. Yeah, instant. Yeah, yeah, yeah. And because
And
honestly, I had seen some Max stuff, I think, but what caught my attention was, and I'm pretty sure my first interaction with him was Wolverine. Marvel presents Wolverine, right?
yeah,
And I was like, what is this? So awesome, and that's how I'm pretty sure it was Wolverine was my first introduction to him. He did that Juggernaut run too, didn't he? Pretty sure he did.
he did quite a few. He did quite a few runs here and there.
He
He
did.
never really stuck around in any particular place a long time, if I remember right.
Was
Um,
he the
the
one? Go ahead.
what were you gonna say?
No, I was going to say, is he the one that did that Wolverine, that really famous Wolverine Hulk battle? It's just literally just a battle, a comic between Wolverine and Hulk. Did he do that?
I don't know off the top of my head. It could have been because
But anyway,
that. early that early '90s era, and then the Mets growing up, watching MTV
Yeah,
and
oh, yeah,
some of the comics that they chose to adapt, like not just the Max but the Head as well. Those are
yeah.
some dark
Aeon
freaking
Flux.
story
I
pictures.
love Aeon
Yeah,
Flux. Yeah.
that, that they
Uh,
chose to adapt, and yeah, the Max. It's wild because the Max is one of those stories that would have not been told today.
that's true. That is true. Although we did get Primal after out of the Samurai Jack guy, to be fair. Although that
Yeah,
was a while ago. But yeah, back in the day, excuse me, MTV was actually cool. They were cutting edge. They were absolutely the people who were enjoying the music at the time. And it's really sad. Of course, we've lost MTV now, but it's really sad to see what became of it. And it's all that reality TV shit. What was the original one they put out that started it?
the
Um,
real world.
the Real World. But that ruined MTV, dude, because back in the day they were edgy in the right way. It was so punk, in what punk is supposed to be, right? And it was a lot of fun. They put a lot of cool stuff out, and Sam was part of it, and he was part of that thinking as well. The '80s kids, 70s, '80s kids, and their ideas about the world, and it was really, really cool. And they kind of peaked in the early aughts, I'd say, and then it's just been downhill ever since. Um, and that's unfortunate. But nevertheless, safe journeys, Mr. Keith. Really loved your art, and yeah. Anything you want to add, Thunder?
Nope,
Yeah,
not really.
yeah. Fair enough. Fair
Rest
enough.
in peace.
Rest in peace. However, and once again, that cover, man, I love that cover. But this is what we're here to talk about: the man, Chuck Norris, '86.
There he is, the man, the myth, and the legend.
Oh, all of those things. Now, this was in Expendables where he came and did a little cameo at the age of 70 something. And it was freaking awesome. It's amazing the swagger such an old man has, right? Um,
Yep.
but yeah, that was fun. That's the last thing I remember seeing him in, although he's done like public appearances and stuff. 'Cause like I said, he was really into charity and helping people, and he's a good guy, legitimate, you know. Um, so I think he probably had a little bit of when he was younger had a little bit of woman problems. I think is about the only negative thing you can say. But he's been with this lady for quite a while, hasn't he?
I think so. Yeah.
I believe.
Yeah, yeah. And she's a bit younger than him, but she looks when you see her in an interview just like a year ago. She looks younger than she actually is. She's a good-looking woman, of
Since
course.
1998.
Yeah, yeah. But I think back in the '80s, he had a little bit of
He
tomfoolery.
had a wife until 89, and then he got married again in 98 and was married for almost 30 years. So he had a good run.
He did.
Had a good
He
run.
did. But I'm just saying that the if you're digging for stuff to try to dirty or sully Chuck's name, it's women. But he's even not that good of
Yeah.
stuff. But I mean, that's the best you can do. Anyway, this article goes into a bunch of stuff what his family says, and the typical stuff you could say. But as we already said in the turn of the show, um, there's no tears here. 86 years is an amazing life. The guy lived an immortal
Did it
life.
all.
Yeah, you can't. I mean, what the hell? There's very few humans in life that have reached what he reached
He
in history.
became he became a living meme by himself. There's very few
Yep,
people
yep.
who become, and not just a meme, because sometimes memes come and go. Now, Chuck Norris is an eternal meme, right? There's
Because
still
he
people
embraced it.
today.
Yeah.
Yes, still
This
people
is.
today who will make Chuck Norris jokes. I made one when we first signed on.
Yeah.
Chuck Norris didn't die. He beat life. That's
Yeah.
what he did.
Yeah.
He's
Yeah.
done. He's
Yeah.
done with the game now. He checked
Well,
out. He's beat life.
Well, in my subline for today's show, I say that Chuck Norris was called up. Turns out God needed a break. So
Yep.
these that is has become his second life, right, or third life, really, because he had a martial arts life, he had a movie TV life, and then he had meme life, and he embraced it. Now, of course, Chuck Norris doesn't turn on the shower; he stares at it until it starts to cry. That's right. That's right. That's right. But now, of course, all of that is really coming out of these books, right?
Yep.
And they came out quite a while ago. Remember, memes are kind of a common everyday thing now, but they had their inception. Of course, we would just call it satire, satire comics. It's been around forever. The modern new word meme it's not new, right? But nevertheless, in here, they're just a bunch of jokey things about how awesome Chuck Norris is. There's two of them here, and it started a trend, and it's been going on ever since.
Yep.
Bob says Chuck Norris didn't die. He allowed death to take him so he could vacation in hell. He built snowman out of rain and killed the Ayatollah again because only Chuck Norris can kill a person twice. That's right, Bob. That's right. That's right. That's
My
right.
favorite one was always Chuck Norris doesn't do push-ups. He does earth downs. He's pushing that whole. He pushes the whole planet down.
Yeah. And of course, Chuck thought it was hilarious. There are
Yeah.
many instances of him just laughing at it because it is funny and he gets the joke. Because, he is an exceptional physical specimen. He was a legitimate martial art champion, right?
Six-time world karate champion in full contact karate, which
Yeah,
means it was basically just MMA before MMA
right.
existed. This is
No,
what he was
that's what
doing.
it was. Pride
Yeah.
and K1 and all that stuff been around for a long time before MMA did. Uh,
Yeah.
but um, but yeah, no, he was a legitimate fighter. He studied many martial arts throughout his life. Actually, most of his skills are in Korean martial arts because that's where he was initially in the military. He's a military guy.
Yeah.
And he was, like I said, he was very instrumental in building up American karate. The foundation organization, whatever it's called, and those are all over America now. So he's done a lot. He's
Huh?
done a lot.
Oh.
And he's a very interesting fella. I love this little send off someone did. This is a more recent picture of him we seen. 86 years old, still dying, but and wearing a toupee, I'm sure, but still looking good. But he's got the Goku going to heaven with the angels and the halo. It's pretty nice. It's pretty nice. But what I thought we'd do is kind of look at Chuck's career. Movie.
Old Chucky boy.
Yeah, look at his career a little bit. Now we talked about he was legitimate martial arts guy, and he got a little bit of notice from that, and turns out he could act, so off it went, right? And of course,
Well, it's not even so much that he could act; it was that he had great presence.
yeah,
All
but he
right?
can actually act. I've seen him,
Yeah.
do a pretty good job. One of my favorite Chuck Norris movies, right off the top, for me, is Silent Rage, and
Yeah.
that's definitely one of his better acting outings. It's a horror movie. Anyway, let's
Hmm.
go over here and take a look at his filmography. Looks like he produced some stuff too. So nice. But let us just take a look at him as an actor. And there's one upcoming. I guess he had a cameo. So this is going to be a long list. What's our number here? 59. 59. Nowhere near
Not bad.
Christopher Lee, but 59 is quite a bit. All
Well,
right.
few people are. Few people are.
Now, this is when he was really he was a martial arts person. So a lot of people didn't know his name, right? But Hollywood is all those recruiters in Hollywood are always looking at those kind of people because they can use them for just basically stuntmen, right?
Yep.
Amongst other things. Um, Bob is continue with his Chuck Norris memes. Chuck Norris has only bleed once. A single drop of blood immediately grew into the full-grown man. Chuck Norris named him John Wick. Thank you. Anyway, he this is an uncredited thing. He showed up in a little one episode because he was starting to get a name for himself. Because you got to keep in mind in the The whole martial art thing started in the 60s as far as popularity. All through the 70s it started banging into the 80s, and then since then it's just become a normal genre, and it doesn't get as much focus as it used to be. But particularly in America in the 70s, kung fu, karate, martial art movies were very popular. And then by the
Mhm.
80s we got a glut of them. I'm an absolute glut. But the 70s was a lot of that, because a lot of American actors thought it was cool, and actually a lot of black people. Now, I don't know if it's still this way, Grimlock, but when I was young, all the black dudes wanted to be Bruce Lee. They were all about the kung fu and the martial arts stuff. They all studied it. It was they had Bruce Lee pictures on their freaking wall. I've seen a black velvet Bruce Lee. I shit you not.
Um, Bruce Lee still to this day has that charisma, man.
He does. But I'm saying the it was everybody, but the black community when I was young were really into kung fu movies. It was a thing.
Oh,
The Last Dragon and Show Enough, the samurai, the
yep.
Shogun of Harlem, was legitimate thing, dude. That wasn't a parody, even though it's a parody movie. Anyway, now we know that he really started getting his name out there and attention because he did Bruce Lee stuff. The Way of the Dragon, he played Colt. This is like a documentary. He was the boss in Yellow-Faced Tiger, which is just a random Hong Kong movie. Breaker Breaker. Now, of course, this fight scene that he has in the Colosseum, the Roman Colosseum, by the way, with Bruce Lee. Now, Bruce was a legend at that time already, and Chuck was kind of known. But this movie shot him up because you could tell in that fight that these guys were going. And Chuck confirms what Bruce said, that they decided the best thing to do instead of worrying about choreography, just fight.
Go, just spar.
Yeah, and they
Well,
did.
they were training partners and sparring partners for years. Him
Yeah,
and
yeah,
Bruce.
yeah. And but it worked out really well because you could feel the presence of it, and it was a good fight. And you know, he did get a little flack, although back in that time he did an interview, and he did it later too. But they mistook his words, they misrepresented his words, and he would because what he had said was the clip they took was. Well, because they asked about Bruce as a legitimate fighter, and Chuck said, well, Bruce never did any actual fighting stuff, and it's very different to practice and then being in a fight and the other person's actually hitting back. He made this statement, which of course is a very truthful statement. But he wasn't disrespecting Bruce at all. Matter of fact,
No,
I've never seen Chuck Norris disrespect anybody.
no.
He's
In
he's
fact, when
he's
I've seen
soft. He's too
interviews,
soft, actually.
because people would always ask, right, who would win in a real fight, and they'd even ask Chuck. And for most of the time, most of his life, especially when he was still, copacetic with Bruce's family, he would always either dodge the question or say Bruce would probably win. But eventually, I think he just got tired of it and tired of people asking the question. He's like, guys, I'm trying to be nice here. I was a professional fighter. Bruce wasn't. I would
No,
have won. I did win, in fact. Like, that's just the reality of it.
yeah.
But Bruce was still incredible, right? He was still
Oh,
an
he was
incredible
amazing.
teacher and an
He was
incredible martial
amazing,
artist.
amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah. And nothing to take away from Bruce. But I'm saying
No.
he did get a little flack for that, and there's no reason for it because if you listen to the entire interview, he's gushing about Bruce, how
Yes.
much he loved, because
Yes.
they were friends. They
Yeah.
loved each other. And I hate that they take that out of context to try to knock on him. It's not
Right.
right. You keep going, bud.
Well, the other thing with Chuck was was his humility, because he didn't have to be, like you were saying. He didn't have to be at all. He's one of, if not the, besides Bruce Lee, most influential people to bring Eastern martial
Oh
arts
yeah,
here.
yeah. I'd say more than
And
Bruce, more
in a
because
competitive sense, yes, for
yeah.
sure, 100%.
But also
Um,
in a business sense.
Probably. Well, Bruce also got his life cut very short too.
He
That didn't
did.
help.
That wasn't
But
30 something. Yeah.
Yeah. So, but regardless, Chuck was. I mean, he's Chuck Norris. He's one of those guys. He's a ubiquitous name that every American over a certain age, and many of them under that age, at least know his name. They know Chuck Norris. They know
Yep.
of him,
Yep.
and you don't get that way without having an impact. And he had a huge impact. He was
I
he
will.
was he was a very kind man. Not nice. People want to use that word. He was so nice. No, he wasn't.
No,
I
he
saw
was.
Chuck Norris shut people down when they were being ridiculous, but he did it with kindness,
Yeah,
right?
he's
He
because
knew
he's
he
a
could fuck
Christian,
you up if he
real
had
Christian.
to.
Well, he's
If
not
he
that
had
kind of
to, he
guy.
could.
He's a
But he's
professional
not that
fighter.
guy.
The professional fighters don't start with a fist. That's not how
No,
they
very
are.
rarely.
It's
Unless
not
there's something wrong with them mentally. It's
right.
very rare
It's
that they're
not how they
violent.
are. But I'm going
Yeah.
to find out how internationally is this week because I'm just going to mention his name, Chuck Norris. I'm going to wait and see the reaction of my adult students, and see if they know who he is. Because
Yeah.
America, he's a legend. I don't know how he is outside. We'll see. But anyway,
He was, and then before he died, like I don't know, probably 10, 15 years ago now, when Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu became a very big martial art, right, thanks to MMA, he actually went and became a black belt in that as well. That's how much this man loved martial arts.
oh yeah, no, he did
As
it
an
just
old
a
man,
different form.
at this
An
time.
old
He was
man.
60,
Yeah,
70 years old. He's
yeah,
out here rolling around with these kids learning Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu.
yeah.
That's impressive, is what
And
that is. That's
the only,
impressive.
but the only time I've seen him be slightly disrespectful, but even then he wasn't, was when they asked him about Steven Seagal, and he just smiles and next question, please.
Yeah,
Um,
because it's fun to watch, but that form of martial art is bullshit. It's not going to
it
work in the
kind of
street.
is,
You're going to
but
get your ass kicked by anybody
Steven
who knows how to fight.
Steven is tough because he's legitimate at what he does. He's legit.
Yeah,
But at the
he's a
same
master.
time, he's such a freaking living meme himself, but the wrong
Well, he's
type
an
of meme.
asshole,
He's an
true
asshole. He's
asshole.
done bad
Yeah,
things, legitimately bad things,
yeah,
right? So but anyway, good guys wear black. Of course, Force of One, Octagon. This run here, this three
yep,
year run. Now, and of course, it continues as you're going to see. But this right here is when he became Chuck Norris, right?
right,
He we started getting his name. He showed up with Bruce Lee movie, well, instant fame, right?
right.
He's a legit, an actual multi-time champion. But right here is when we got the movie Chuck Norris, what he is. And of these three, the Octagon is by far my favorite. It's got Sho Kosugi in it playing a ninja. They're ninjas. And I love the Octagon. Love it. But this is where Chuck Norris became a thing, right? And I don't know how in the hell Octagon's got a 5.1 rating. That's at least the 6.5. And of course, it continues. Now, Silent Rage is a little bit out of character for him because it's a horror movie, right? But I
Right.
love this movie too. And Of course, we are. We're really getting into it. Forced Vengeance, Lone Wolf McQuade, a lot of people's favorite Chuck Norris movie. Missing in Action, 1, 2, and 1000. Code of Silence, which is a pretty good movie, although it's not as well known, but it's a really good movie. Invasion
Yep.
USA, not a good movie, but freaking awesome, right?
Hmm.
Delta Force. All right, so let's stop. Let's just stop. Look at this frickin' run. 1986. All these movies people know, right? And it
Hmm.
really started back here in 78. So he had an 8-year run. He put out 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 movies in 8 years. Holy crap, dude.
Just busted them out.
And all
And
of
it's
these,
interesting. So Delta Force, right? In
that was a big one.
1986, Delta Force didn't exist according to the U.S. government. It was a conspiracy theory. No, there's no such force within the United States military known as Delta Force. It
No,
simply was not allowed to be spoken about, and yet Chuck Norris was making movies called the
sure.
Delta Force.
Well, I mean, technically, it wasn't called Delta Force. It has another name, right?
Mhm.
The guys themselves call it Delta Force.
But
So
now,
to be
to the
clear,
point, the Delta Force isn't even remotely controversial because we just saw them in action for one just a few months ago
oh yeah,
in Venezuela. But regardless, they've always existed. Of course, they existed. It was one of those things that the military. You know how Hollywood does. They tell on everybody
Sure.
by accident. A lot of times it's by accident, and people think it's on purpose. I think this might have been a by accident one. They didn't realize they weren't supposed to say that, so they just called it Delta Force, and all the Delta Force guys were like, "Ah, shit,
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
we don't exist, guys."
Yeah. Yeah. Um, I do love because Bob has been throwing out more, Chuck Norris memes over here. Alan decided he wanted to get in on the game. Thank you, Alan. He
Yeah.
says, I love this one. Chuck Norris, tears can cure cancer. Too bad he never cries. Yeah, it's a good one. Anyway, of this run, because this is his hardcore run right here, right? Delta Force from Good Guys Wear Black. This is this run, and we're going to get into. There's a lot more, but this run right here is what gave us what it created Chuck Norris. So let me ask you guys, out of this right here, out of this group of them, I do love the Octagon, but I'm gonna pick Silent Rage because I love that movie. I That's a guilty pleasure of mine. But of this run from Good Guys Wear Black in '78 all the way up to Delta Force in '86, Grimlock, which one is your favorite of this? Quintessential core.
I'm, I'm gonna take the basic bitch route because Delta Force was that movie that got played on local TV. Because
Yeah, it
you
had
remember back
attack
in the day when
motorcycles, dude. Or no, that's Magnum Force.
when,
Sorry,
when you only had some back in the day when you only had but four channels to choose from,
that's right.
and you'd have that Thursday night movie or the Saturday afternoon movie. It was usually Delta Force. So
Yep,
you
yep.
saw that movie early and often as a kid. That was the introduction to Chuck, so that's always going to have a warm spot.
Well, the good thing about all these Chuck Norris movies, they're not the greatest movies they ever made, but they're all entertaining, every single one of them, right? You can sit down with popcorn and have yourself a good old time. These are great, great popcorn movies. So you're going Delta Force, and I love it too. What do you think, Thundero? What of
Well, since
this?
he went Delta Force, I'm going to go Missing in Action. I like Missing in Action. It's a good time.
Yeah. Now here's the thing: Missing
As
Action is
Braddock.
as Braddock
Such a
is
great name.
'84. When was First Blood?
Rambo?
70 something. I think
70 something.
78.
So this is a play on what Rambo was doing. Okay. Because it is Rambo. It's Chuck Norris version of Rambo. And to be
Yeah.
fair, I can't say that I don't. And the action I think is better with Chuck than with Sly. But Sylvester Stallone is legitimately an actually good actor.
Oh, I
Legitimately.
guess it was, no, it was 82. I thought it was in the 70s. No,
Yeah.
82.
So, but
First Blood.
they're playing off of it. So, okay,
Yeah.
fair enough. But Missing in Action is Rambo. But I'm picking Silent Rage out of this. But that's just this chunk of the creation of Chuck Norris. Now they had a cartoon show, which I do recall. So Firewalker. I think I've seen it. Braddock, of course, Mission Action 3, Hero and the Terror. I know I've seen it, but I can't remember the storyline. Ah, that's all right. Of course, more Delta Force 2, The Hitman, Sidekicks. We're doing a lot of little things, and then of course, Walker Texas Ranger 3. Deadly Reunion. So by the early 90s, he's already doing Walker. When did he start doing Walker? It's not in here. I would guess that maybe
I
that's
don't
under
know.
TV or something. I don't know. It's not in here. I don't see
Was it a
Walker
made for
Texas
TV
Ranger at
movie?
all. That was a movie, yeah, but then maybe it's up top or something. But anyway, I didn't know he was doing that so early. I thought that was much later. But anyway, things are waning. There's not as much stuff. The Texas Walker Rangers must have been going on in this period, and that's why. But Logan's War, of course, Sons of Thunder, Martial Art, The President's Man, Walker Texas Ranger series, 93 through 2001. There we go. Okay.
You know what's another thing that is missing from that, in this era that you're just looking at all these titles, how simple the titles were.
hmm
Wasn't these long, convoluted fucking titles. It's just
Yeah.
simple.
Well, I mean, because idiots these days are smarter than everybody else, you see. Um, 196 freaking episodes of Walker Texas Ranger. Jesus. Now, I kind of
And they
went
can
by
go
this stuff
Cuomo and get
quick.
that even 200.
Yeah, right. That's too bad. But we got a couple movies, I think. So uh, in this, you see he's not doing as many movies because he's doing it, 196 freaking episodes of that. However, in amongst this, there is martial law. Now that's a TV series, and he only does one episode as Texas Ranger Cordell to kind of give it a spin off and a click. But this I have to mention because that's Sammo Hung, right?
Yep.
Now Sammo Hung, he came up with Jackie Chan's. They're good buddies. They were in the circus together and they did movies together. Sammo's fat boy that can move just as well as freaking Jackie Chan can. Ain't no joke, right? But
Right.
he went on to do something that Jackie didn't. Now Jackie is very funny. He's very charismatic, and he's had one of the greatest movie careers of any actor ever, right? But Sammo, he did a lot of movies too, but he really got behind the camera. And some of the best damn martial art movies ever made is with him behind the camera, dude. He's the one that brought us Donnie Yen. He's the one that got Jet Li out in front of us. He's the guy that got all these big things going on with Sammo Hung. So that series didn't last, unfortunately, because American sensibility. Fair enough. However, that actually is a very important dude. But nevertheless, moving on. Now, up in here, we just start getting
I think there were
little
just too many shows like that at the same time because you had Walker, then you had martial law. You also had Nash Bridges.
Nashville, which I like Nash. I watched that more than I did Walker.
Yeah,
I mean, Chuck has got his character, the quiet, soft-spoken warrior, right?
Him.
Um,
He's him.
it is him, yeah.
It's-
But I like the second coming of Don Johnson. I have no problem with Nash Bridges. Anyway, he does a lot of little cameos after this, right? And of course, Walker. He's all focused on Walker, and then of course he was in Expendables 2, and then he's just been doing commercials and various things. There is one upcoming. Let's take a look at it here. Zombie Plane, so maybe he did a cameo or something. But so he did a lot of stuff. Texas, Walker, Texas Ranger, is a big deal. He did that for 8 years, but and all his real movie stuff is in this era though, right in here. And there are a lot of good fun stuff. But the thing is that we mentioned earlier with Chuck, he had his fighting career and he was crazy successful. What, six, seven times champion, right?
Six-time
Six
world
yeah.
times.
karate champion.
So he had that career. Then he had a movie career that made a lot of money and was very successful, and of course, TV career as well. Then he went on to his charity, Christian devotion life, which he's spent decades working on. And then, of course,
Yep.
we also have the meme life, and that will go on for quite a while. I have a feeling. But Chuck Norris, man, jeez, you know. Um, so overall, favorite movie. I'm assuming you're going to stick with what you said already. Is there any favorite thing, or are you guys going to take Walker Texas Ranger, or what have you? What's your favorite Chuck Norris thing?
Well, the meme. My favorite thing is just the
Ye-
meme
The
itself. The
memes.
meme's the best
Yeah,
part. Yeah.
yeah,
But I always liked Walker Texas Ranger. I'd watch it when it was on. I wouldn't look for it, but if it came on, I'd watch it. Why not?
right.
Um,
Yeah, I was the
it
same
was just
way.
one of those kind of shows. I wouldn't turn it off. Like it didn't offend me or anything. But he's. I think personally, my favorite movie in the '90s of his is probably Sidekicks. But I was the right age. That was made
Yeah,
from my.
Sidekicks was
It was a
fun.
kids movie.
Sidekicks was
Yeah.
fun. But that was more of a cameo. Well, that he
No,
wasn't the main person in that. That was
no, he's
somebody
not the
else.
main character. He's the motivation for
Yeah.
the main character.
Sorry, I said Zombie Planet. It's Zombie Plane, and he's doing a little cameo in it.
Yep.
And it's going to be a comedic thing, of course. It's a cameo for him.
Vanilla
And
Ice. Oh my
Vanilla
god.
Ice. It's got it's Sophie Monk. It's just going to be a good fun time. When is it released? It's in post production. It doesn't really say when we're going to get it. Yeah, it doesn't say. But I'm assuming it'll come out sooner than later. Now that he's passed, they'll want to get in on that. Expected sometime this year, it says. So, but it's a
Yep.
comedy. I actually saw a kind of zombie demon possession ghost story thing like this. Hollywood B movie actor salary movie not too long ago. And it was good fun, and this will be very similar. I love the fact that Vanilla Ice is in this. That is great. Yeah, yeah. Poor Vanilla. I don't know. He just didn't get the love. But anyway, so there's that. What a life, Chuck Norris. He will be missed, but nothing but praise for the dude. And like I said, even though we all like his entertainment and stuff, the best thing he's done in his life is his charity work, plain and simple. He's
Yeah.
legitimately out there. He doesn't have to be forced to do some PSA like say Michael Jordan or something like that, right? He's out there doing it because he wants to, and he's been doing it for decades. He's a legitimate Christian. He loved talking about his religion, talking about God. He did a lot of that. And his Walker Texas Ranger carries a lot of that in it, actually. I mean, he is a warrior in that show, but he's also justice, true justice, and compassion, which is interesting for that type of warrior. It's not, for instance, Clint Eastwood wouldn't play that kind of character, would he? Right? Which is
Right.
why John Wayne hated Clint Eastwood because he felt he brought shame to Hollywood because of
Hmm.
his violence. Because John was all about, uplifting the community, not, and I understand his take, but then again, Mr. Wayne, I've
But it,
seen The Searchers, buddy.
but it also worked for Clint because, like, would you want to see a Clint Eastwood movie where he cried after he shot the
Nope,
villain?
nope, I wouldn't. I'm fine right in between. I'm just saying that Chuck was the John Wayne side of it, without question. Um,
Yeah. Well,
uh,
he was more see, and I don't think Clint necessarily, as philosophically, would believe this. I don't know, but he was much more of your traditional Western style compassionate hero, right? In the West, heroes are supposed to be compassionate, like Jesus
right,
Christ.
right.
Whereas Clint was much more of your traditional pre-Christian style hero,
Yeah,
where
he's
he's a man of
mercurial.
action.
He's
Yeah, he's
mercurial,
a man of action. He gets
and
out there and does things. Sometimes those things are bad, where he's, in one
right.
of his movies he rapes a bitch, and he's still the hero of the movie.
He
But,
is, yeah. Red Plane. Was it Red Plains Drifter? Is that the name of
High
that?
Plains
High
Drifter, I
Plains
think, is the one he
Drifter. Oh,
does that
I
in. I
love
think
that
so.
movie, dude.
I love
So
that
good.
movie. It's so good. It's so dark. It's so
Yeah,
dark. I love it.
Pale
So much
Rider.
metaphor.
Pale Rider is kind of a remake of that and a much better movie. But High
Yeah.
Plains Drifter is wonderful. But yeah, but keep in mind also this character, the man with no name, right? It's not an American character. It's Italian.
No. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Those are spaghetti
Correct.
westerns, right?
That's right. Miserable
Um,
people
yeah.
in their art.
John Wayne is deeply ensconced in Hollywood, right?
Yeah. Yeah. Well, and the other reason why Clint Eastwood became who he became was the Dirty Harry movies that hit at just the right time.
They
You
did.
see, when we had a bunch of
Civil rights.
communists all over the country letting criminals out in mass, and then all of a sudden this movie comes out where there's this cop who says "fuck the rules" and just starts killing them. Yeah, kind of worked. Plus, Clint's Clint, so it
Yeah.
was just a perfect storm of career reboot
Has
situation for him.
has anyone had the presence of Clint Eastwood? I mean, to be fair, Chuck
It's
Norris
tough.
has a little bit of that stare too. He does. He does.
Yeah,
But I mean, Clint Eastwood, the just to stand and say nothing. He doesn't have
just
to
look at him.
speak, dude. I mean, Chuck has that. Anthony Hopkins has that,
Yeah.
right? Anthony can just stand in the scene and and just
Eat it.
eat it,
Just
right?
devour it. It's rare. It's really rare, even at top levels of Hollywood, that you get somebody who, even guys like Chuck,
Yeah,
like not
Charlie
Chuck,
too.
but
Yeah,
like Clint. Clint's not exactly a physically intimidating person. He's a tall, skinny guy, but he's got aura like a motherfucker coming off of him, and he knows how to use it. He knows how to wield it, and he does. And he made millions and millions of dollars and became an icon just wielding his aura. That's all he did. Because he's not necessarily the best actor you've ever seen, but he didn't have to be. Just like Chuck doesn't have to be. Just like John Wayne didn't have to be. They just
yeah,
don't have to be. They're at a level where you just don't have to be. Another one who had it when especially in his prime, was Schwarzenegger. He could just stare at you. He didn't have
yeah.
to say much.
He not the same level, but Old
Yeah.
Arnie definitely had a little bit of that as well. Um,
Mm-hmm.
but yeah, no, I know very well that Chuck Norris did that, but he is much more of the sympathetic hero
Yeah.
type of guy, is what I'm saying. And yeah, of course, in my one of my favorite Chuck Norris movies of all time, Silent Rage, he's fighting a serial killer,
Right.
for sure.
Oh,
Uh,
Bronson. Yeah, Bronson's a good one.
yeah,
Somebody in the chat there says Charles Bronson. Yeah, Bronson was also. He could just look at the camera, and the vaginas were wet and the men were excited. That's all he had to do, was just
Hey,
look at the
hey
camera.
man,
did you
hey man,
see
a
that?
very few words.
I've had very
That's
few
right.
words. Have you guys ever seen the shirtless whiskey commercial he did for Japan?
Yes, yes, and it was the
Holy
biggest commercial
shit.
for that company of all time. Not even
Right,
close.
right.
And all he's doing is just walking around drinking whiskey and jeans. That's it.
That's right.
That's what he's doing.
But
Like Frederick,
because he doesn't really, he keeps his clothes on. He's not like Chuck will get that shirt off, right? Or Arnold
Right.
definitely get the shirt off. He doesn't do that in the movies. He's kind of supposed to be the everyman hero. But
Yeah.
you don't realize how absolutely freaking jacked freaking
Yeah.
Charles Bronson was. Just jacked, dude. Ridiculous level of jack. I mean,
Living testosterone is what he
yeah,
was, just walking around.
unbelievable. It's like Jason Statham in like whatever what Transporter 3 or 4, where he has that
Yeah.
scene where the girl's being a bitch, and he just he you see you well, just Jesus, Jason, what did you do to yourself, dude? Um, right? Well, Charles is like that. But yeah, no, we don't have a lot of that anymore. Those kind of heroes, unfortunately, there's still a couple here or there. Jason Statham being one.
Yeah.
But they'll make a comeback because that's kind of eternal. Men respect it and get hyped over it, and women just drool. I mean, plain
Yes.
and simple.
The ultimate test for cool. What is cool? As in a man. Men want to be him and women want to sleep with him. That's it.
Yeah,
That's
yeah,
it. That's all you got to have. You don't have to have. You don't even have to be that good looking. Charles Bronson's not that good looking, but
no,
I promise you, women wanted to sleep with him, 100%, because he just had it,
he
and he
had it.
knew he had it,
He
and he
had it.
walked in like he had it.
Yeah, because he was also a soldier, I think, right? Charles
I
was.
think so. Yeah. Old
But
Charlie.
yeah, some of those because those soldiers guy have certain presence because they've seen some shit. But
Yeah.
nevertheless, Chuck Norris, safe journey, sir. Thank you very much. Thank you. You gave us decades of love and fun, and you're a presence for good, and that's
And
awesome.
we'll say, and I'll say this: he taught a lot of young men how to be men.
He did.
Whether he meant to or not, I think he did mean to, but he taught them stoicism and in also Christianity, in my opinion, at least Christian ethics. But he also taught them that there's nothing wrong with being able to defend yourself. There's absolutely no reason you should just be a pushover and you should allow people to harm innocent people. He spent his
yeah,
entire life trying to, in a way, deify. That's the wrong word, but martial arts and the ability to control your body and the ability to be dangerous but
Yeah.
not violent.
Well,
And he was
he
extremely.
he was and he did. And but the interesting thing when you go listen to him do interviews regarding him trying to promote karate or martial arts in America, which he did a lot
Mhm.
of, right? He never talks about violence ever.
No, because that's not the
He's
point.
no, he's always talking about fitness, actually.
Right. Well,
Um,
it is. I mean,
and
if you've ever been in an actual fight with somebody,
yeah,
you want to get in shape, boy. I'll tell you right now, get some wrestling done. Get in there and roll around with somebody for a while. You'll get in shape real quick.
yep,
Real quick.
yep, yep. No, I'm sure I know I'm nowhere near the shape I used to be.
Yeah.
But then again, experience also helps, you know.
Oh yeah. 100%.
But yeah, no, it's good to stay in fit and be able to defend yourself 100%. Because here's the thing: the people who are legitimately your enemy, and there are legitimate enemies in the world,
Of course.
they're in shape.
Yeah,
They're
they're
ready.
ready to
Yeah.
rock and roll.
Mhm.
No, I think it's good. His message would be that, right? Be prepared for anything. Put your faith somewhere. He would probably say in Christ, I'm sure, being a devout Christian.
Yeah.
But put your faith somewhere and be ready for anything. Be prepared to defend yourself, and especially to defend the people that you love and just innocent people around you in general. And what's happened is, in his lifetime, I've seen it. The Christians have lost all sense of duty to the community of protection. When I don't know, I read the Bible very clearly, and I'm pretty sure he says that it is your job to protect the innocent and the weak.
Oh,
Repeatedly,
100%.
God
Yeah,
does.
many times.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, and you
Raul,
can't do that if you're just a big old puss boy who can't fight.
that's true. It's not good for you. Shaming has always been a valuable tool that we're starting to lose. Raul, who
Yep.
was a really good, great artist, was on our drawing show last week. Um,
Oh, Raul.
Hello, Raul. He said he loves Breaker Breaker. I don't think I've seen that one, to be honest with you. But he also mentioned Octagon, which I love that movie. Um, yeah. Let's see here. Yellow is far as I got. As far as
Yellow
yellow
belt.
belt, yellow belt. Yeah. No, I took martial arts when I was a kid. I had I guess here in Japan it would be like a nidan or something like that. But yeah, I got a black belt, but I mean it doesn't mean as much as you think it does. um,
No.
no, it's just like a little club sport thing. It's not serious. And you can make it serious if you go out and get into it, legit, like Chuck did. But To be fair though, when I went on and I got my by accident really, I got my first bouncer job. And I just found as I was going around trying to be a musician, it was just easy for me to get bouncer jobs. That's why I kept
Oh,
doing it,
yeah.
right?
You're a big boy.
I'm a big boy.
Helps.
But I tell you, out
Yeah.
of all of that karate, because I did Ichiban Ryu, which means the first
Hmm.
dragon karate school in America, which is part of the American Federation of Karate, by the
Yeah.
way, once again, which Chuck Norris was directly involved with. But And my teacher actually was an American champion, same type of fighting that Chuck did. Uh, but um, but anyway, he you've seen him before. I can't remember his name offhand, but he's the guy that wore the blue gi, but it had the red, white, and blue, red and white as well with the white stars. You've seen him before,
Mhm.
an American
Yeah.
champion, real like just cut like out of stone type of dude. Anyway,
Hmm.
um, so uh, after though, when I was doing the bouncing stuff. I didn't hardly ever use any strikes or kicks or anything like that they taught us. The thing I learned was those what most people thought were boring. Those classes where you're just sitting there with a partner and you're wrestling over thumb control or hand control.
Yep.
Those
Yep.
classes, right? Which most
Yep.
people think are boring. That's what I
Leverage.
used. Yeah, dude, that's what I used.
Hmm.
If I get a
Hmm.
hold of your thumb, dude, or your hand, you're done. I
Yeah.
guarantee you, you are done, right? But I used those things for freaking 12 years, dude. That's what I used. Not all the fighting and kicking and punching and yeah, none of that crap.
Well,
None
you'll
of that stuff.
notice, and you would know this. Most fights aren't a bunch of punches and kicking and yeah. They're people grabbing each other.
Yeah,
It's just what it is.
it
And,
is.
and to be honest, that's a much better way to fight unless you absolutely know how to throw proper punches and kicks, because otherwise you're just making yourself, well, dumb. You're
Right.
opening yourself up, you're tiring yourself out, you're just going to get your ass kicked. Uh, Whereas grappling, which is the oldest martial art there is, not only is the oldest martial art there is, it's the most effective.
It
Once you know
is.
how to control somebody else's
It's
body,
very
you've won.
effective.
The fight
Um,
fight's over.
but honestly, my because I've had to strike, I've had to punch in my life. I've even done a
Sure.
couple of kicks, I think. Mostly where I learned to punch correctly was the boxing class in PE when I was a kid.
Yep. Yep.
That's where I learned to punch proper, and you do need to
If you
learn
wa-
that.
if you want to learn a good, don't go because there's all these places that'll teach you self defense. Most of those are bullshit. Stay away from them. Just go to a boxing gym. Learn how to throw
Yeah,
punches. Learn how to dodge punches. Learn
learn
how to
how to
block
hit.
punches.
Yeah, because it's
And
not what you
then,
think it is
if you
most of the
really
time.
want to go to the next level, go to a judo class, whether it's Brazilian
Oh
or
yeah,
even Japanese. They
yep,
both work, and learn how to grapple, learn how
yep,
to throw somebody, learn
yep,
how to get out of it.
yep.
And you'll be more prepared than 99% of people on the planet for violence.
We had that in
Period.
PE class too, judo. Yeah.
Yeah, we didn't have none of that.
Yeah,
We weren't
well,
allowed to
no,
touch each
I'm
other.
happy we did. But like I said, I hardly ever used punching stuff, but I've had to a few times. I got mad at myself once because it was just the guy was swinging wild, and I just had to deal with it.
Yeah,
And it was whilst working, right? So I just kind of took a half step, like a angled step to the side, and I got one of those uplifting side punches, right?
yeah.
You see, like go watch Mike Tyson. He does it all the time. It's freaking beautiful. His side cracks that he puts out are like planet shaking. But anyway, I did that and I laid into the guy and it was such a good punch, dude. And I smiled to myself and I was mad. No, I was mad. I was like, you asshole, because you're not supposed to be happy about it, right? You're not supposed to be happy
Well, it
about it.
depends. I mean, in that circumstance, yeah, right. You're
No, he's
professional,
just a
but
drunk
some,
idiot.
somebody comes at you or does something stupid to a woman or a kid, then you can be happy
Yeah, he's
about
just
beating
a
their
drunk
ass.
idiot. Yeah, I shouldn't have,
Yeah.
but I did smile because it was just such a good hit. It was so clean, dude. Yeah, but no, mostly if you do that kind of job, the grappling is what you want. Hand control, arm control. Yeah,
Yeah.
pain compliance, buddy. That's what you want.
Shut them down.
Yeah.
That's why officers don't really strike. They're not supposed to. They
No,
will, but they're not really supposed to.
they don't
They
have
just
to.
grapple. They tackle you. They get you down.
Yeah. Yeah, that's and because it's most effective when you're trying to
Yep.
deal with someone. Because actually, if you get in a fight with someone who's had a little bit of training, um, that is less dangerous a situation than some person that has no training and just wildly flaying,
Yes.
right? Like you guys joke about it, but I've had a couple times where I popped an eye out or ears come off or stuff like that, and
Yep.
it's not my intention. That wasn't my attack. I'm just trying to control a large, strong person, and they're flailing about. And I
Yep.
have a bad habit, particularly I don't know why, but my right hand, when I'm grappling or getting hold, my thumb always sticks out really rigid. I don't know why I do that. I just do. Maybe because in the when they're teaching the class with punching, never put your thumb inside your fingers. Maybe that's
Right.
it. I don't know what it is, but I have that's a bad habit. And when you're it's a panic situation, you're trying to control this crazed person that's flailing around. You're just in there trying to, put all your might in and lock them down, and it just happens, right?
Right.
So these kind of these flailers can be quite dangerous actually, and that's why
Well, there's
cops do it.
also there's people like me. I avoid violence if I can,
Oh,
and I
so do
haven't
I.
engaged in it at all in a long time. But if I'm there, if I'm ready to hurt you, I don't believe in rules. I'm going to hurt you. I'm going to I don't care if you kick my ass. You're going to remember it tomorrow because I'm going to leave something broken. That's how I fight. I don't care about, oh, you can't do this. Nope, nope. If I can get to you with it, I'm going to get to you with it. If it's a thumb in the eye, it's a thumb in the eye. If it's your balls, I'll squeeze them. I don't give a fuck.
Right, you do realize
If
that.
I'm at that point where I'm ready to fight, I'm ready to actually cause you physical damage, not just hurt, not just oh no no no. But I almost never get there.
You know that
Almost never. It's very rare.
you do realize that just means you're a white boy.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
because that's
I'm
kind
fine
of
with it.
white boys in general. But yeah, no, the last thing I ever did was
Yeah.
lose composure. That's
Yeah.
the last thing you want to do. But it
The
doesn't.
last time I came close, I was in a pool hall with my buddies, and there was these drunk idiots because I don't drink, and most of my friends don't really drink either. And we were just playing pool. We wanted to play fucking pool, and there was these drunk idiots at the table next to us who kept, hitting me with their stick and doing da 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 da. And then, for some reason, I just finally had enough of it, and I gave him one back with the back of my stick, right when as they've been doing to me the whole night. And he was a drunk idiot, so he turned and hit me with a stick in the back. which hurt like a motherfucker. If you ever been hit by a pool stick to the back, doesn't feel good. And my buddy, he's 6'9.5". All of a sudden, I just see this long arm come over the top of me and just deck the guy and knock him out cold. One punch. Just knocked
Right.
him clean out. And I said, oh, man, I wanted to do that. I was more upset that I didn't get the chance to kick his ass. But then we had to leave, of course, because,
Well,
didn't
yeah.
want to deal with the cops. But
Right.
now if you ever been hit with a pool stick, that shit hurts.
It
Don't
can.
recommend it.
It can. Baseball bats are
Yeah.
worse. But
Oh, yeah.
Alan says he got his belt at J.C. Penney. Good for you, dude. But honestly, all of those kind of little karate kung fu stuff, which Chuck was a big proponent of, it's really about teaching kids fitness and discipline.
Yep.
It's not about
Yes.
fighting. I mean, it's better
No.
than nothing. But I mean, if you want to
No,
learn
karate's
legitimate,
fine.
yeah, yeah, yeah. But if
Karate,
you
yeah,
want to
you can
learn
fight.
legitimate fighting, go do MMA, dude. Go. What do they
Yeah.
call it? Something Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu or something like that.
Yeah,
That's
Brazilian
legit
Jiu-Jitsu.
fighting training. That's legit.
Yep.
The karate
Yep.
stuff is really about mental and physical discipline. Is really what it's about.
Karate is a good starter.
It
It's
is.
a good starter discipline. If you want to take it seriously, though, you're eventually going to end up being taught how to box, or at the very least, kickbox. Both are fine. I did some kickboxing for a while in my early 20s, just because I always loved kung fu movies. And I still have. What the great thing about it is, once you get the skill set, you don't really lose the dexterity. Now I don't have it like I did, obviously, because I'm in my 40s. When I was in my 20s, but I used to be able to jump up in the air, land in the splits, like I could do almost a straight up and down
Sure.
kick.
Sure.
I could do
Yeah.
all of
Me
that
too.
shit, and I still can kick really, really high. Like me and Adrian and the wives were at the gym the one day, and we had this, and I was just goofing around. You have the pull down bar, and I was like, "Watch this," and I kicked it while it was all the way up at the top, and they went, "Whoa!" I was like, "Yeah, I told you I used to kickbox. I can literally kick almost straight up still, and I'm fat and old."
No, I
So
can't do
you
that.
don't really lose it once you get those skills. They might get out of practice. Your joints might not like it very much, but they'll do it. They remember how. The muscles remember how.
Yeah, no, I'm not. I'm the toad from the says it, the five deadly venoms. Um, what about gun fu, dude? I love gun kata. I love it, dude. It's
It's
freaking
so fun.
awesome.
Yeah, it's great.
Yeah, Equilibrium with Christian Bale is one of the best
Oh,
examples of that.
you just
Hard
reminded me,
boiled.
Chester. You asked me earlier, what did I do this week? And one of the things we did do is we watched that Momoa and Batista movie, The Wrecking Crew.
Yeah, yeah, I watched it.
Uh, it's pretty good.
Yeah, it's
I
fine.
didn't hate it.
It's not.
It's fine.
It's got a
You know,
lot
it's
of
nothing
white
great.
hating in it, though. It does.
Well, of course it does. It's two brown guys made,
Yeah,
produced by two brown guys. I've accepted it. They don't have to like me. I don't like them much either. It's
yeah.
fine. Everybody
But
wins, if we're honest.
Batista's become a legitimate actor, though. He has.
Yeah, yeah, he
Yeah,
does a
that
good
movie
job.
proves it.
The Momoa's girlfriend is smoking hot. Holy shit, whoever that girl is, she's beautiful.
Well, that
And
lady's
the
in a
scene,
lot of things, dude. She's in a
yeah,
lot
I know
of
I
stuff.
can't remember her name though, but the scene in the
She's got a
car,
weird name. Yeah.
scene in the car where they're all talking about how hot she is, and she goes, "You guys got fucking Tourette's?" I laughed so that was so funny because it was just so perfect. It was exactly what guys do. That's why it was well written because men are just we're the worst. We don't care. We'll say it right in front of the woman how hot she is. At least I will. I don't know about the rest of men, but
Oh
I
yeah,
will.
no,
I
I do.
understood those guys.
No problem at all. No problem at all. Her name is Marina. She's got a
Yeah.
weird Italian last name. What is it? Baccarin or something like that. But she is a absolute hottie,
Oh, from
even at her
Firefly.
age. She's from Firefly. She's from V. She's done a ton of stuff, dude. Tons of stuff.
Yeah.
Because she's an
Well,
absolute naturally gorgeous woman.
yeah.
I think she was in Deadpool as well. She's in a
Oh
ton of
boy, she
stuff.
does have a name on her. Listen to this name. Her name is Morena Silva de Vaceta Baccarin. What are
Yeah,
we doing?
yeah, yeah. But you know what though? I saw her on the Grimlock. What was that guy did a late night show always flirting with the girls? It's actually the only
Craig
entertainment.
Ferguson.
Yeah, Ferguson, the Scotsman. He had
Yep.
her on. She is such a normal chick. She
Yeah.
is so normal. She's not.
Imagine having one of the most charismatic, naturally funny dudes on your roster,
Yep.
and you put an absolute charisma vacuum. like fucking faggot Colbert just because he gargled the right nuts all the way up his career.
Oh, Ferguson's
Yep.
freaking awesome, dude, and his show's done now. But there, you
He
find him
was
on
so
YouTube. He's
good at
Yeah.
amazing.
flirting
Oh yeah,
that the women would literally ask to come on his show just so he could flirt with them.
yeah, yeah.
That's how good he
Women
was at
like
it,
it,
and they
dude,
loved
when
it.
you flirt with them
Yeah,
properly.
when you're
They
good
love
at
it.
it. Yeah, and Craig's not a good look. I mean, he's not ugly, but he's not a good looking guy. He's just a
Nah, he's
normal
got
looking guy,
game for
but he's got
freaking
game,
centuries, man.
endless
And
game.
and,
Endless game.
and
Uh,
and and the Scottish accent. Women love the Scottish
They do.
accent.
they
It
do, they
helps.
do,
Yeah.
they do. Now,
Yeah.
Grimlock, being black, you must have done some kind of martial art.
um,
Black.
believe it or not, my dad wanted us to learn kung fu, but
Of course he did.
believe it or not, I did not want. I actually did not because we was kind of violent already as we were.
Yep.
So
Well, I
I
already kind of
actually,
set that up.
I kind of was the one who said no to that.
Interesting. You know, you're like
Yeah.
the only black dude in America that's never taken martial arts. You know that, right?
The only
Uh,
one.
Now, I don't know about young ones, but when I was young, the black community was obsessed with Bruce Lee and fighting kung fu stuff. I'm not even kidding, dude. They were real
I
serious
don't
about it.
know. I like growing up in Brooklyn. Like I said, you had regular TV. You had Chuck Norris movies.
Sure.
You had the Stallone movies. You had Steven Seagal movies and Jean Claude Van Damme. Everybody, like by the time I was in second grade, like you could not talk about Jean Claude Van Damme. But also, you had, at least in New York, we had the kung fu features on the weekend, whether it was Channel 5 or
Oh yeah.
Channel 11.
Sure. Kung
If
Fu
you got
theater, ninja theater. That's right. Yep.
early in the afternoon,
Yep. Great
you
stuff.
when you seen the old Shaw Brothers movies and all of that,
Yep.
and it was just part of the culture. So
Yeah.
for everybody around,
It was.
that was it.
Yeah.
And you know the wild thing about Chuck Norris's death, because I was listening to a live stream at the time they announced him dying, and I wanted to be sad about it, but then they went to social media and they started because immediately people started posting memes about Chuck Norris dying, and the memes are so funny. I'm like, I want to be sad, but this is like the most appropriate way. Like he
Yeah.
became that
Yeah.
big
No, you're
a
right.
part of the culture.
Nothing but love, man. There's a few idiots out there. For the most part, everyone's been just pouring love at Chuck and his family. And fair enough, for good reason, because he's legitimately a good person, right?
Yeah,
Because there's a lot of celebrities that aren't necessarily the greatest people or just normal people. Chuck he found himself in a situation financially and publicly that he could do something, and he said, "Well, hell, I'm going to do it." He's that kind of dude, right? A lot of people just sit on their laurels, stay out of public life. A lot of them do. But he didn't do that. He was very active, even up until very recent times. Like
yeah.
Thundero was telling you, I believe he went and became MMA certified, didn't he?
He went and learned. He went and got a black belt in Brazilian Jiu Jitsu.
Yeah, yeah. I mean,
Yep.
and to be fair, he would know more than I would. That's legitimate. That's
Yeah.
actually learning how to fight.
Yeah.
And of course, it's not pretty. It's not all about standing up there doing the kung fu kicks, because what we've
Right.
seen in China, for instance, as to take it another step, and this guy's got himself in all kind of trouble. He's basically persona non grata in China because of this. But a Chinese guy, he was trying to change the culture, is what he was actually trying to help. And he was doing MMA type of fighting, mixed martial arts, and he would go around and challenge these so-called legendary kung fu masters around China, and he was trying to demonstrate that this is a better fighting style. Kung fu is good for health, but it's not really good for fighting, legitimate fighting. And he
Mhm.
started getting, people getting a little irritated with him. I'm sure the government was watching him at that time already. But then he fought some guy, can't remember his name. He's got some weird ass Chinese name, and But he's like one of the legendary kung fu teachers in China, right? He's a big deal for them. And he just wiped the floor with this guy in seconds. Didn't even
Right.
go a minute, just wiped the floor with this ultra master, right? And he's gotten so much heat from, the communist loyalists over in China and the government as well. Like I said, he's basically persona non grata with the CCP, simply
Mm.
because he demonstrated, hey, this stuff's great. It's tradition. It's good for your health. But if you want to learn to fight, this is a better way. But because it's not a Chinese way, well, then it's evil and bad, right?
Right.
That's how the CCP works, right? But as an example, this guy, I don't know his name offhand, but you can find, if you do some search for it, you'll find it. But his life has been ruined simply because he was trying to demonstrate something. And if you listen to him speaking, he's not an arrogant ass either. He legitimately was trying to do something helpful. But
Hmm.
nevertheless,
Yeah.
thank you very much, Chuck Norris. And let me continue on with other stuff here. All right. So, Chuck Norris. Still love this meme, though. Stares until it cries. All right. So I do have today. I'm really going to concentrate for the rest of the show on some upcoming movies or potential movies. We're going to start with a potential one. Go ahead.
Ryan Gosling keeps Ghost Rider hope alive, confirms Marvel talks have happened.
Now, this is not new. Ryan has been saying for years that he wants to do Ghost Rider. He wants to do what is the Ghost Rider? Johnny Blaze. Yeah.
Mhm.
He wants to play that character. He said it many times. This is
Yep.
not new. The new thing is there has been a lot of little jokes and a lot of little hints come out that they might be actually thinking about it. And because of all that, they asked him in an interview directly, and he's like, "Well, we have sat down and we've talked about it." And that's about as far as he goes. So there's no confirmation here whatsoever. But I put it up because this is the first time that he's actually admitted that that they've actually talked to him, because everything else was just his desire. His wife, for instance, was actually in a Ghost Rider movie, the cute
That's
little
right.
Latina, right?
Yep.
And she jokes and mocks him in the house, saying, huh, "At least I've been in a Ghost Rider movie, right?" So this is a point of you know
Can we give Ryan
contention
some
for him.
credit here? This man, he marries a woman at the prime of her career when she's one of the biggest female names in Hollywood. Gets her to quit. She stops making movies and everything. Goes to be a mom, right? To just take care of his kids while his career starts blowing up again. And to this day, she largely stays out of the public eye for the most part. They almost are never seen together in public, not because they're not together, but because they're trying to keep on a down low and keep their kids from this nonsense. And they just did a public appearance recently. These two did on some talk show. I don't remember, one of the late night shows. And you can tell that he loves his wife very, 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 very much. You can just tell, right? You just know. As a married man, Chester, you've seen it. You know when a man actually loves his wife. It's not hard to see. And
Absolutely.
you can just tell. And we got to give Ryan credit because he has absolutely no reason other than his own morality to stay faithful to that woman, and he has. Because he can have any woman he wants, let's be honest. And he stayed faithful to this woman who's given him multiple children. That's impressive on him. He deserves credit. Most in Hollywood don't. They've been together almost 20 years now.
Well, he if you listen to him speak though, he's not that type of dude.
No,
He's not
exactly.
that.
That's what I'm saying. He needs
He's
that
not that kind
credit.
of dude. Yeah. Fair enough. And just to show you Eva Mendes, I'm sure you know who she is, but I mean, she's a hot little hottie
Yeah.
Latina, real cute little thing, and still looking good even though she's older. But
Yeah.
she was super cute, super cute. But they've been together for quite a while actually. And you're right, she just went to become a mom. But anyway, he's got this new movie that people came out this weekend that people seem to be interested to go see. It's got a very high rating, Project Hail Mary. My wife and I are actually thinking about going to see this. Did you guys? I'm assuming you guys didn't watch it this weekend.
No.
No, no.
Yeah, but let's bring back to the main point here. What do you think of the idea of Ryan playing Ghost Rider, playing Johnny Blaze?
Well, where it
How old
comes
is he?
from, uh, he's in his mid 40s, I think, maybe late 40s by now.
Yeah.
Where it comes from is the movie Drive. I'm sure where this idea, this meme was
Uh,
originally created, where he plays the driver in that movie. Uh, I think Ryan can play anything
it's a
he
good movie.
wants. I think he'll actually even make it good. Whether
Yeah,
or not he would be the best choice, I doubt. I mean,
yeah, he looks
the
right, but he's too good
the
actor
age is the
almost.
issue. That and the
And
age is a bit of the issue. He's also the type of guy where he's a screen eater when he's on screen. Like it's very hard to not have him be the center of attention. And I don't know if you need that for. I mean, in his own movie, sure, but if he's ever going to come into the ensemble, it becomes much harder. If you
yeah,
notice, the biggest name in the ensemble casts of the Avengers movies so far, well, besides Chris Pratt, but he's a different animal, is Robert Downey Jr. And that was his job, was to own each and every scene. Everybody else is still, even to this day, far less of that person. Even Hemsworth, even Evans, as great as they are, and they are, they're things that they do. Downey was the one who had the genuine, overwhelming presence of that group, and that's
oh,
why it fell apart
absolutely,
without him.
100%.
So if you bring in Ryan, who's at the height of his career right now, he's been rolling for a while here. You risk that becoming a problem where he overwhelms the screen, in my opinion. And I think that's one of the reasons why, if they do this, it'll just be he'll be in his own little pocket and he won't be mixed in with the rest of
Well,
the
Ghost Rider
MCU.
kind of is mostly, and he's also
Yeah,
rather
Yeah, I was
cosmic.
about to.
Yeah.
He's well, not I wouldn't say cosmic. Is spiritual, yes. Supernatural, yes. But
they have been
yeah,
teasing though, real quick. They have been teasing though, getting into that more spiritual side of Marvel
Yeah.
a few times here there, and this would be them definitely saying, "Okay, we're going in." So we'll see. We'll see. Go ahead. Sorry.
um, he's just look. This rumor has been going on for what 15 years now.
A long time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's been a long fucking time, and quite frankly, he probably would do a good job of it. But if you're really serious about rebooting this shit and starting all over, get some younger fucking kids. I understand they're like you want the name recognition and all of that.
Sure.
If you're really going to, I don't understand how these motherfuckers watch sports, and because you see it all the time in sports. When you see a team fucking rebuild, you know what they don't do? They don't get a bunch of fucking 35-year-olds to rebuild the team. You go out, you tear your team down, you rebuild, you start with the draft, you go out and get as if you go get free agents, you get as many good young free agents as you can.
Yeah.
What
Yeah.
Marvel needs to do, if they are fucking serious about rebooting the MCU in earnest, is whatever comes out of this Doomsday Secret Wars bullshit. To be honest, it shouldn't even matter. Everybody needs to go. I don't care if you like them or not. Everybody needs to go.
Yeah.
Start
Well,
over fresh.
it's going to fail anyway
Get
because
some.
of where they are.
Get.
So
I know, but I'm saying if you're really serious about doing this, you go out and get some young guys, right?
now,
Your whole point of bringing in Robert Downey Jr. for this three movies was so at the end of the third movie you're starting fresh. So that means everybody who's currently under contract or is currently working be gone. And Ryan Gosling, no offense to him, it's a meme at this point, but that time has passed.
yeah. And
Unless you're doing an older version of Blaze, which could work, but that only means you're probably trying to set up Robbie Reyes, and
yeah.
don't fucking know why you would, because
Well,
he's not the Ghost Rider people think of.
no, but I don't really have a problem with Robbie though because of how the Ghost Rider character works. Um,
I do,
uh,
because the way they wrote him is completely
well,
stupid, and
that's
what
because he
makes
was written by woke idiots. But if you
and
legitimately went at Robbie Reyes the right way, it could be a really cool character, actually.
not really, because there's nothing. Because from from reading Blaze and Catch, and even some of the other writers, there's no real. The other ones have like these biblical ties.
Yeah, yeah,
He
sure.
doesn't. That's the biggest problem with Ray is he really doesn't. There's no, and to be honest, like there's no real spiritual like every one of like Blaze, Catch, even Alejandro Jones, they had some massive fucking over that happened to him. Robbie, not so much. Like like the he was a good kid trying to do the right thing, and he got tied up with the wrong people. But I'm still never gonna get over that. Your spirit of vengeance is your pedophile uncle. Like, how the fuck did
Yeah,
you
no,
write that?
I know, dude. They're
I
idiots,
think that
but
was a
I don't mind the idea of it, is what I'm trying to say. Because it is something that does gets passed on, right? We had a Ghost Rider who rode a horse, and the horse became a fire thing. The motorcycle, and of course the car. This can be
well.
true of anything. It's definitely a character that can be passed on to other people. It doesn't have to. Peter Parker is Peter Parker, but the Ghost Rider isn't locked down like that.
Well, yes and no. He's because there's been other ghostwriters, but that spirit of vengeance is usually tied to one person. That spirit has like the spirit of vengeance. The spirit that was bonded to Blaze is not the same one that was bonded to Catch. It's
Well,
it's
okay.
it's not the same. Like none of them were sharing in that regard.
I get you. I understand exactly what you're saying. I understand it, but I hated what they did with Robbie Reyes. But I personally said, "Oh, this could be good if you can get that agenda crap out of your damn head." It could have been cool if it was written differently. But nevertheless, we know this has been a rumor a long time. But it's first time I've heard that he's actually sat down and had a conversation with Disney, though. I haven't heard that
Yeah.
before. It was all just his desire. And also, and I'm glad he's been with Ava for a long time, but she was in a movie with Nick Cage in close proximity to him. Watch out.
Yep. I think that was before they were together,
I know, but it
so it's
doesn't
okay.
matter. I don't. I
I
wouldn't
think
want
it's
to take
okay.
sloppy seconds from Nick Cage. No, thank
You
you.
may have, Chester. He's been
No,
everywhere.
that's
Gotta watch
true.
out for that Nick Cage.
It's true.
He's been
He's
all
been
over.
everywhere. That's
Nobody's safe when Nick Cage is on the prowl.
that's
No one.
true. No one is safe. But
Imagine going down on Ava Mendes and you find a tattoo of Nick Cage's face down there.
oh god, oh god,
Just staring at you
staring
with
at you
that face.
with that face, the googly eyes
No,
face too.
it'd be one of his crazy
If
faces,
crazy faces, yeah,
like from
like
Face Off.
that's right, right. Now, this next story. Go ahead.
Minecraft 2 cast Kirsten Dunst as Alex alongside. Wait, okay. As Alex, there should be a comma alongside Jack Black's Steve. I thought her name was Alex alongside. I thought
Yeah.
that was the name. I thought it would be
No,
cute.
Patrick Scanlon here doesn't understand grammar. But
Yeah.
now you guys know right well I know nothing about Minecraft because I never played it. I think it's ugly as shit and I don't want nothing to do with it, even though everybody said, but it's good. Fine. It's okay.
Yeah.
I'll live.
Not my
I'll
kind of
live.
game. I never played it.
But a lot of people love it, and great. I'm not negative about Minecraft. It's just not something I know anything about. And the first movie, there was some controversy because of Black's partner, really his musical partner. But the movie did well. It made money. The fans were happy. So we're getting a second one. Of course we are, right? Just like we have
Yep.
another Nintendo coming out this year.
Well,
Movie.
my wife actually just watched this movie today while she was doing her nails. I only caught parts of it, and I was telling her, anybody who watches this movie who's never played the games, when they go to play the game or the game, because there's only one, they're going to be very disappointed in what they're playing compared to what this movie is portraying it as, because it is not even remotely anything to do with Minecraft other than aesthetically. But it was still, people still really liked it, especially the youngins seemed to really like
Easter
it.
eggs, lots of Easter eggs.
Yeah, lots of Easter egg, lots of references, lots of things that are just that kind of. And you know what? I'm fine with it.
Sure.
Movies are supposed to be entertainment. Adaptations should all be fan service.
Yep.
That's the point.
Yep.
And that's what this movie was. It was just nothing but fan service from bell to bell. And that's fine because it made its money. It did its job. Chester, movies have one job when they're released to the wider public, to make money. And boy, did this movie do that.
It did.
So
And
hopefully the second one does as well.
yeah, and rock on. That's all there is to say. Is awesome.
Yeah.
Jack has become Steve. So rock, like I said, I know he's one of the main playable characters, and Alex, the girl, is also another main playable character that the article says is very recognizable by its players. And Kirsten Dunst is going to be playing it now. Kirsten here. Um, First of all, that outfit and your age, ma'am, you know, no
What are we
disrespect,
doing?
but it's
What are we
not.
doing?
What are you
Get a
doing?
nice sundress on and stop being a
Yeah,
slut.
this, when you were younger, sure, maybe, although you've never been the sexy girl. That's not your thing.
No.
But you're way too old to be doing this, and you ain't got the tits to pull it off anyway. But
Amazing that she's always looked like Captain Janeway's older sister for 20 fucking years.
yeah, yeah, it's true. But
I'll give her this. She's aged pretty well. She's got to be almost 50, if not
oh, I
50. If
think
that's a
she's
right,
my age or older. Uh,
yeah,
but
that's not. She don't look too bad for a
well,
woman that age.
yeah, I
She's
have.
looked 45 for 20 years. I mean,
She does,
granted.
and I have nothing against Kirsten at all. I haven't heard her say anything dumb. Maybe she has,
I'm
but
sure she has. Yeah.
I don't have anything against her particularly. But it's an interesting choice. The problem is, I don't know if it's interesting because I don't know anything about Minecraft. Does anyone know her playing Alex, whatever this character is? Is that a good
They're
idea?
not characters, Chester. They're skins.
Oh,
So Steve is the original baseline player skin that you could be. It was called Steve. It's not even a character. Neither is this one. It's just the first. I'm pretty sure Alex was the first female looking skin that they put out. They just called it Alex. So that's where these names are coming from. Minecraft isn't really a game. It's a sandbox. And there are some things here or there. They've added more gaminess to it since Microsoft took over, especially. But when it really blew up was once you got to the point where people started like doing mods and stuff, and you could do all kinds of crazy things. Because it was kind of the first, not really, but it was the prototype in many ways of the procedurally generated world. Now a lot of games do that, but Minecraft was definitely the first huge success. Clearly, since it's technically the most successful game to ever be made. Uh, and so these characters aren't really even characters. Now they may have changed that in recent years and actually given them stories. I don't know, but I know when I played it back in the day, they're just skins you can wear because Minecraft is at its best, in my opinion anyway, when you're playing it cooperatively with somebody else and just building something cool together and exploring together. Otherwise, it's just kind of boring. It's just a chill game. But that's all they are. They're just skins. So you have Steve as the main skin, the default skin, and that was picked by the creator Notch for whatever reason. I'm sure there's some lore there that I don't know. And then Alex, I'm pretty sure Alex was the first female skin.
it's hard to tell in that game. Um, they have to tell me because they're all just blocks. Yes, she is an activist. She's a Me Too person, genius. She was in Civil War movie, which was supposed to be received as Trump bad, but it didn't get received that way, kind of like Barbie movie. Um, and she's very anti-Trump. Nice. Let's see here. This is very recent because this is ceasefire in Iran, I'm assuming. Um, no, Israeli-Palestine conflict, and it's like, why would we? Why would we want a
These
ceasefire?
people don't care about what's going on in Iran. The vast majority of people don't really care. To be honest with you, I've heard zero people in public talking about. No, that's not true. I've heard one group of people, a couple, talking, two older men talking about gas prices because of the war.
Yeah,
Other than that, literally no one else has mentioned it, has said a word about it, has anything at all to say about it, for or against. Those people don't care. We have the problem with the West, with the vast majority of people here, is most people don't care. They simply just don't care about anything other than what's going on in their little bubble. And that's fine. That I think actually don't even think it's a problem, to be honest, to correct myself. But that's just reality. So all these activists and all these people out here talking about how terrible this thing is, and Palestine and Israel, blah 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 blah. Yeah, normies know about that, of course, because it's all the media ever wants to talk about, because the media is run by Jews. But Iran, most people just they couldn't point to it on a map. They got no idea where it is. They don't know what we're doing. This is why, like we were talking about earlier, there's people who are living in totally separate reality right now. There are people who genuinely, Chester, I'm not making this up, I swear on all the saints, there are people who genuinely believe that America abandoned all of its Middle Eastern bases because Iran was overwhelming them.
They're idiots. I don't know what we've been nothing but successful.
Yeah,
So it's weird. It's so weird. I don't even know what to say. But anyway, Kirsten actually is very happy about this because her children love the game. So she's happy to be involved with it for them. So
right.
cool. Rock on. And I'm sure she'll do a good
We're
job
here now.
because, she's playing for her kids. So,
Remember what I said? We are now in the era. People kept asking, what was the next era going to be, right? We had the superhero era, which Kirsten was a big part of. The superhero era, which lasted about 25 years, depending on where you start it from, but really took off in the 2010s with the Marvel Universe. But that's kind of petered out for the most part, right? It's still around. They're still going to do things, but it's not what it was. Well, what era are we in now? Well, look at it. Of of the last few years, there have been a few movies that have made over $1 billion. Two of them, at least two of them, were video game adaptations.
yep,
We're in that era now.
we are.
That's where we are.
And that's fine. Street
Yep.
Fighter won't make $1 billion, but we're going to love it, I think.
But I think it's going to make some money. I think Mortal Kombat's going to make some money this time, too. I think people are ready for... Because another great example is the One Piece anime. Or, I'm sorry, the live-action Netflix adaptation. The second season has come out. I watched that this last week. It's phenomenal. It's great. They make some changes here or there, of course. But, again, the Oda's there the whole time. He's in complete control. He has final say. So any changes they make, he gives the green light to, and it's nothing egregious, just minor things. But it's very good. We might actually just be in the era where adaptation has become something they've figured out how to do, and it's very simple. Just be sincere. That's it. You don't have to make it make sense. The game, the thing you're adapting, One Piece don't make fucking sense. What are we talking about? Minecraft don't make. There's not even a story in Minecraft, but people loved it because you could feel the sincerity. You can feel it on the screen, right? First of all, it's Jack Black. For all of his faults, and there's many, the man doesn't know how to do a movie insincerely. He's always him. He's always in. He works his ass off every time, in every movie I've ever seen him in, whether you like
Sure.
the movie or not. He's just that guy. He brings it every time he can. And he did here. He brought it. Hence why the movie made so much money. Momoa's hit or miss. If he's into it, he's all in. If he's not, he's not. But that's just who he is. But my point is, when you're making these adaptations like Minecraft, like the Super Mario Brothers movie, like the Sonic movies, you're not making great cinema. Don't try to make it great cinema. Don't add a bunch of pathos to it. Don't get all artsy fartsy with your shots and try like they did with the Assassin's Creed movie. Stop it. Stop it. Knock it off. Just make a fun, sincere movie in the spirit of the game and use the aesthetic. Don't do a bunch of crazy changes if it's a story like Mario didn't all of a sudden Peach wasn't out here all of a sudden just throwing fireballs left and right or whatever. They do cold powers once though. But you know what I mean. She wasn't the hero of the story, right? We didn't do that. We didn't do anything weird with Sonic where all of a sudden one of the other characters is better than him at everything or whatever. Just the weird shit Hollywood does that there's really no answer for other than they're stupid and they don't know what they're doing. They're not doing that with these films.
No.
And it's working, surprisingly.
Yeah.
It's working. Yeah. Segue. There it is. Sonic 4 teaser reveals chaos is coming. Jim Carrey back as Robotnik. Well, of course he is. Don't listen to what Jim says. They're going to keep throwing money at him. He's going to keep taking it. He's a whore. He's a Hollywood whore. Of course he's going to take that money.
He's good at this kind of stuff anyway.
He's phenomenal as Robotnik. He's the best part of the movies. He's so good. He's the man when it comes to this. He's
Yeah,
so much fun. Oh, the last movie, I would actually give a nod to Keanu as Shadow. I think he did a great job as Shadow,
did
as
he?
the voice of
See, I
Shadow.
haven't
Yeah.
seen beyond the first one. I, I watched the first one because I respected what they did.
Yep.
Right? They put out
Sincerity.
something ugly, and they're like, "All right, you guys hate it. We're going to go back and fix it. It's going to cost us money." But
Yep.
they've earned it back by now because this
Yep.
series is making money. And awesome. It's awesome.
Yep.
Yeah,
It's what we want. We want
yeah,
more of this. We want more and more and more of this. I greatly approve. I also greatly approve. Hopefully, we'll see when we get there. But they both look really good. The Mortal Kombat and Street Fighter movies
they
that are
do.
both coming out this year.
They do.
Uh, and the first Minecraft movie, I haven't seen it, but the people who it was made for loved it. And you know what, Chester? You know what it did? It knew who it was made for, and guess what they did? I know it's crazy. This is a wild idea. They just made the movie for them. I know,
I know. Weird. Yeah,
ridiculous idea.
yeah,
They didn't.
yeah,
They didn't shit on their own audience. They didn't call all the kids who were going to come see it, some form of retard or oppressor or something. They just made the movie for the audience they had, and they made money. I know
yeah.
it's crazy,
Yep,
crazy
it
idea.
is. This is coming out next spring, so a year from now.
Yep.
And it should be good. Now, I only saw the first one, and I actually enjoyed it. I haven't watched the other ones for no good reason. I just haven't watched them. But Grimlock, what do you think about this? Four is pretty good, dude. They're making money in this series.
If you would have told me 5 years ago we would get four Sonic movies and the first three was actually good, I would be shocked.
Yeah,
But here we are,
here we are.
and
Uh,
and a big thing is, and it can't be overstated when that first trailer came out and the fans shat all over it correctly. And instead of doing everything, the one thing that Hollywood had, the entertainment industry, not just, I won't say just Hollywood, it's the entertainment industry because I don't know if you're going to talk about any AI shit, but the entertainment industry as a whole over the last 25 years has made their business to sit on the people that keep them afloat
yeah,
and then wonder why nobody's buying.
yeah.
Where
And
these
it has
people,
become the trend.
well,
Yeah,
they took the criticism, they properly fixed the problem, and they got rewarded for it in time because you can't tell me you was gonna get four movies Sonic looking the way he did in that first trailer.
no way.
No.
They did exactly what they were supposed to do. They responded in precisely the correct way, and they've reaped the benefit from it. Because I sure it cost them money in the beginning. It was a
Yep.
gamble. But here they are, and awesome. I know that a lot of people like them. They're popular. They are making money. And matter of fact, let me go over real quick and do here. Sonic. Let's see what kind of money they have made. So 2020. So it's a short period, dude. I saw
Which is
this
a
one.
bad time for movies, right?
Bad time for
2020 because
movies.
of
They
COVID.
they probably just broke even, maybe with it, maybe not, but they made money
They
after the
probably made
fact.
a ton of sales on DVDs because
They
I
probably
I
did.
remember
They probably did.
I bought it on DVD. I didn't go to the theater. I got it on DVD.
Let's see here. The
And
second
what-
one, more money, and this one they didn't have to go back and redo, so they probably did make maybe broke even, maybe. But they must have because they're making more. Third one, more money. Definitely
Yep.
probably made a little profit on this one. And then of
Oh,
course the
100%.
fourth one is
Well,
coming.
especially if you go back and look at those, look at the domestic box offices for each one. It went up every time, and that's where they really make their money is the
Sure,
domestic. So,
sure,
yeah,
sure.
they definitely. I mean, they wouldn't keep making them, but they weren't making money. So they definitely made their money back. They probably actually had these funded long before the movies came out. If I had to guess, like because
Maybe,
that's how
yeah,
they do a lot of these films
yeah,
nowadays,
yeah.
is they get them funded before they put them out.
but I would say that probably the second and third movie was a bit easier to make budget wise because you're probably reusing a lot of assets. Because once you got Sonic right in the first movie, it's not like you have to start from scratch.
Yeah, true.
That's true.
Used to be.
That's another
I
thing.
would.
Developing the CG is cheaper each one. Now, this character, because they do show image of a hammer breaking apart, and this is Amy Rose in the game series, and she is probably the next character they're going to introduce. Fair enough.
Oh, 100%. She's teased at the end of the last movie. She's coming.
Her
Uh,
Pico Pico hammer.
yeah, old Amy. It should be. I think as long as they keep the same energy they've had, it should be fine. The problem is we'll just see what they're going to do here because they're getting to the point now where they're slowly going to start running out of source material,
Sure.
at least good source material, and we'll see what happens going
Well,
forward.
it doesn't need to go on forever.
No, no, they could
It's not
stop at 4 if they
necessary.
wanted to.
They should, because you're not going to get much more of Jim. He's he's older and his soul is kind of burned, I think. But nevertheless, sweet. Alrighty. I'm happy. I probably should watch them. I don't. There's no reason I didn't. But I should go back and watch them. But I'm just happy
And they're
for them,
wholesome.
and they are wholesome. They're good for kids. And the good thing about it as well is the fact that this is what you should be doing as a studio.
Yes,
Taking your IP and making it for those who love your IP, right?
yes.
And hoping that going to a broader audience, you get more people who love your IP. Sonic is always
Be
from Sega, has always
sincere.
been one of the main characters, right? We have
Mhm.
characters that are more adult and rough, sure, like Solid Snake and things like that. But most of our memories of video games from my generation and yours are characters like Mario, Luigi, Sonic,
Yep.
Kirby,
Mhm.
right?
Mhm.
These are the
Spyro.
Spyro, the
Mhm.
mainstream comic book characters.
Right.
And honestly, any kid that gets in the gaming when they're young is going to be doing a Sonic type of game because that's a whole nother thing we haven't even talked about. I played all these games when I was a kid, and I would have to say that the most fun of them was Sonic because one of the things they do really well, it's a side scroller just like Mario and so many of the other ones, right? But the thing Sonic did really well, and I'm assuming they're still doing well, is the impact of the character. Like when you're moving Mario, you can feel it as you're playing the game, of course. But when you're playing Sonic, you feel his movement, right? Through your controller almost, right?
Yep.
Sonic is that kind of character. He's very dynamic, very impactful as you're playing the game, right? So that's another thing too. The Sonic games have always been great. You guys ever play Sonic games? I'm assuming you did.
Hey,
Oh yeah, of course. 100%.
Yeah, yeah,
100%.
yeah. It's
100%.
always been cool.
100%.
Anyway, very good. Let's move on here. I'm sorry to bring down your mood, but
DC targets young readers with trans queer comic and new Justice League Pride event. No, 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 no. Matt, you're being a retard. No young reader wants to read that. Not a single one that exists that is going to read a comic book wants to read about trans queer comics
yeah,
or watch a pride parade or whatever the hell they're doing in the
right.
new Justice League.
Well,
That
no,
is for older millennials, millennial women especially. This is not for anybody born after,
no,
born in the 2000s or later.
right.
That's not who this is for.
But
Period.
but Matt's not wrong. DC is. He says DC targets, right?
Yes.
And we know they are targeting because that's what
But a
the
better
event is all
headline
about.
would be attempts to target because it's
Oh,
going.
I
They're
see.
not target. They're not really. That's just a lie. They're not targeting young readers. They know this. They're not. These people aren't this. Aren't
But
this.
dude,
They
they
have
want
whole
to gay the
marketing
world.
departments.
They're like Muslims.
Yes,
That's why they get
but
around so well. They want to gay the world.
they know who they're really targeting. They know who they're. This is. Dude, they've been doing this for 20 years. This gay shit. Let's be honest. They've been doing it for a long
Yeah, me
time.
too, Alan.
They've just gotten far more aggressive with it in the last 15 or so years. They know what they're doing. They're doing it on purpose. This is intentional. They're not trying to get young readers because young readers ain't what young readers are watching. What they're checking out? The Minecraft movie. You know what's not in the Minecraft movie? Gay shit.
No, sure, nor should
There
they
you
be.
go.
Um,
Ding ding ding.
Yeah, but this Galaxy character is a modern creation, and of course they say, "Well, she just came out in the last comic, and everyone's so excited about it." Well, first of all,
Okay,
so the first point you put her out, we knew she was this transgender thing because you were dropping hints constantly, and look at it, right? So shut up. This
Yep.
is a new character. It hasn't been, it has no legacy whatsoever. And
hold
of
on,
course,
hold on.
here with
Go back to that.
Dreamer,
Go back to that horrible fucking picture.
yeah, it's that's that typical
I
gay
just
art.
want. I just want because I've been hearing for the last 2 months, and not from anybody in particular in this chat, but all across the internet, from the artsy fartsy types about how AI brings you nothing but soulless slop, and you have the goal. And look, this is what the so-called soul is putting out. This shit.
Yeah,
This is the
of
shit you're
course.
protecting.
Yeah, and it's just queer garbage, right? And of course, this other
Okay.
character that they're really pushing in the this coming June, and DC is, this is their last hurrah, I think, because we know Skydance has bought it, but it's not going to be done until summertime. So this is their last chance to gay it up. So I am imagine DC Comics this summer, June, is going to be bad, really bad, because this is their last hurrah, and they know it. They know it. So they're going to be
It should be because how many times has this type of book failed?
always.
Marvel
It has
was
never
doing it for
succeeded.
years,
Yeah,
and I think they stopped this year because it failed. It kept failing.
yeah. The only two
Um,
books I've ever seen succeed with a gay character, and it was because they were that wasn't the point. Was the Midnighter books, and particularly Planeteers, as well as Alpha Flight with North Star. But yes, they are gay characters, but that wasn't the point, right? That's the only ones
Yep.
I've ever seen succeed that you had that we all know that they're gay openly, right? So everything else has failed miserably. They've absolutely destroyed their companies. Now this other character up here above Galaxy is they call Dreamer. Now, for you longtime DC comic fans, do not confuse her with Beautiful Dreamer. That's an old character. It's been around a long time. This is a brand new character that comes out of the Teen Titans TV show, I think. This is a new character, and it's a ultra gay character, of course. So these are going to be their premiere that they're going to be pushing this June. But not only them, you all, of course, love and love. They're all together. But we're also going to get a lot more. Boy, they really went after Poison Ivy, dude, and of course Superboy, because he's all about the gayness.
Oh.
We're going to get a lot of it. They have this Dream Girls thing, Justice League Dream Girls, which I don't know why the dudes are here because they're not part of the comics. All about the women in the front, and just all female Justice League comic. So you're going to get a lot of it. This June's going to be noisy from DC, and Marvel probably will be just normal because they don't have any threats against them right now. But yeah,
no, that they have other problems on their hands. Like
they do.
it was somebody decided to brag this week that she has now written the second most number of X-Men comics in Gail Simone, and I said, and I couldn't help myself. I said, I think that is really sad to know that you have been allowed to write such terrible stories for this amount of time.
Yeah, yeah. Well, Gail Simone is an absolute troll. We know this. But anyway, there's not much to talk about here. Just forewarning for all of you people still desperate for the recovery of comic books in America. This June is going to be, well, DC's going to be bad. And like I said, it's mainly because Skydance is coming in and it's the last chance they're going to get to do it. So they're going to pour it on. They got to pour it on. And it's funny because Superman, Superboy here, of course, gay version, and Poison Ivy. These are known characters, but these two here with Dreamer and Galaxy, nobody knows these characters. I didn't even know these
Nobody
characters.
cares.
I had to go look them up, and I'm a comic dude, right? I've never heard of
Yep.
them. right? I
Yep.
never heard of these characters whatsoever. I know Beautiful Dreamer, and I thought that they was just a modern gauge version of it, but I went and checked. No, it's not. The Beautiful Dreamer character is separate and not. It's not this. So what are you doing, dude?
Losing. That's what they're
Losing.
doing.
Yeah. Well, they're about to be changed. Now, I'm not sure how much focus Skydance will put on DC Comics, the movies for sure. But the comic book itself, I hope that they at least go in there and try to clean it up and put someone in charge who loves comics and will look to repair what's happened. I hope they do that. But I can't imagine that the Skydance is going to put so much attention on the comic book section. You know what I mean? I can't imagine.
No,
Um,
I can't either. I wouldn't be surprised, to be honest with you, if they don't just shut it down.
that would
They
be a
don't make
shame.
money. They
Or
simply don't make money or outsource it entirely.
yeah,
Uh,
outsourcing it might be what happens. Yeah, which could be a
Honestly, that
great thing or
the
a bad thing.
outsourcing would be the probably for the best
Yeah,
because there are people out there who are making good money in this medium. They're just not in the. They're not American by and large. There's people out there in
yeah,
Europe making great money still. There's people all over. Obviously Japan is making
sure.
ridiculous
China,
money.
Korea.
Personally, I've said it for years. I stand by it. The guy who made My Hero Academia, give him one of these franchises and let him play.
Let them cook.
Let him show you some
Yeah,
ball because that was the best comic book superhero shit done in 25 years
right.
probably,
Because
give
he
or
has
take.
love for it. He loves it.
Yeah.
So,
America Chavez for DC. Ouch.
yeah, American Chavez. It's going to be the American Chavez for DC. Yeah, well, I guess that's what they're trying to do, but it's just, you know, it is what it is. I just wanted to announce it. That's all. But let's finish on more happier news before we go to the movie stuff. Go ahead.
MegaCon Orlando this weekend brings John Cena, William Shatner, geeks and gamers, and parties. And just
Now,
parties. We're just partying now. That's
just
all we're doing.
parties. Why not? They actually had way too many people show up for the party. It was a debacle. But MegaCon, of course, is not Gen Con. It's not Essen. It's not Comic Con. You know, but over time, it's become quite large. MegaCon.
Yep.
And down here in Orlando, and they got a lot of people showing up to it. You got John Cena, of course, he's always fan favorite. William Shatner, Geeks and Gamers got an invite, which is interesting because that's one of Nerdrotic's boys, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
And but there's a lot of stuff going on down here, and I like looking at conventions, seeing what people doing and stuff. Mostly, I watch board game stuff. But of course, I pay attention to comic book stuff as well. And MegaCon has a little bit of everything. But it's looks like a fun time. And keep in mind with these cons, particularly bigger ones like this, you can actually go on YouTube from day one, and you can see live coverage. You can see all kind of coverage of everything that's going on, interviews, all kind of stuff. We used to get really good with E3, take a look at Comic Con and other things like that as well. But that's dead now. That all died and went away. Unfortunately, because I used to love those things. But these conventions, you can still enjoy them in that way. So and the fans are really what it's all about. Because see, look at all these cosplayers out there having themselves a wonderful time, right? Just
Right.
enjoying their costumes, enjoying each other, having a laugh. There's no politics going on here, right? People are just having a fun day, and as it should be. It's great, you know. And one thing I will say, Grimlock, I've been watching these conventions for 2 decades, right? On
Mhm.
the YouTube, and we're nearly maybe a decade and a half. And one thing I definitely say in this photo, as you take a look, there's a lot more black people showing up for the nerd than they used to be. A lot more. I don't know if that's a good
Yeah.
thing or a bad thing from your standpoint, but there's a lot more black people involved, and that's, I think, a great thing because just come have some fun, have a laugh, enjoy, join the nerds. What do you think about that? Because there are a lot more black people into the nerd now than they used to be.
It's more acceptable now,
It's just that simple.
and much like my genes, I'm mixed about it
Oh, fair.
because some of them are cool, and then you have these insufferable fucking blurs where I wish I could shoot them into the sun with no suit.
Well, if Shaniqua shows up, there's going to be trouble. That's fair. But,
Well, see, that's the other thing. Niggas ain't going to that. Thanks.
no, but I
Well,
think
at least
some
not
are
yet.
starting, and
Thanks.
that could be the negative. But mostly, these are just people having a good time. I've noticed it, and there's more Asians showing up too, and the Asians have always been nerd, but they're starting to come out and kind of get together and do stuff. These conventions have become very accessible for them to go and do that. Um, my wife was cringing this weekend because we went and had tried a new Korean restaurant. It was pretty good.
Mhm.
We had a bunch of Japanese kids that were cosplaying in the park and just having, I don't know, they had an event or just having a day together, right? And my wife was cringing at it because it's not normal, so it's cringeworthy for her. Now, for me, I don't do that personally, but I'm like, yeah, they're just having some fun, right? They're just out
Yeah.
cosplaying, having some fun. No big deal. But
No fun allowed.
well, traditional
Well,
Japanese
I
mothers do.
mean,
I mean, come on.
also for the longest time that was things that they could considered white people shit,
Which is
and
weird because white people never considered it that.
of course, but
But then again, white people never consider anything racially, which
yes,
which is why
That's
we got
changing.
ourselves in trouble. Yeah, unfortunately, it's changed. That's not a good thing, dude. That's a bad thing.
That's a good thing for white people.
Fair enough. Fair enough. But yeah, white people never consider racial stuff. But old John Cena, your favorite,
Uh-huh.
Daphne Keene. I don't know who this girl is offhand. Do you
See,
know
this
who
is
this?
how I know I'm not actually a white supremacist, Chester, because if I was, I should love John Cena. I should, because he
Why?
was an excellent white man at the top of his industry for 15 years. He was a white excellence, right? You know how we always have to hear about black excellence all the time, even though
Right?
it's usually they just did something normal. But he was actually excellent, whether he wanted, I mean, at the top of his industry for so long, and now he's had a very successful Hollywood career. I should be a big John Cena fan because he's
Yeah.
not a Jew and he's dominating in a Jewish situation.
Yeah.
And you know what? No, can't stand him. Get him out of here.
Yeah.
Don't care if he's white.
Well, fair enough.
That's
But take a look at this at this calendar here. I thought this was kind of interesting. We got Nerdrotic has been invited with D-Day Cobra. They're doing an hour and a half talk on the Thursday. You have Daughter's Revenge signing. I don't know, was some comic book or something like that, and Bro Science. But you got Beardo and Odin, because Geeks and Gamers, of course. You got Eric July, 1 p.m. Friday. Critical Drinker, 3 p.m. Interesting, right? Geeks and Gamers panel. Chuck Dixon is doing
yep,
two
part
things
of
with Eric July. Sweet. Yellow Flash and Critical Drinker together. This
interesting.
is our people are
Yeah.
now in charge of MegaCon.
They're too big now. They
They are.
have to. They have to be invited because they're just too big. Uh, like Critical Drinker, I checked, he has what, like 3 or 4 million YouTube subs. His videos get around 1 million or more every time he uploads. Like he's bigger than CNN.
He
This
is.
one man, this one Scotsman, this drunk Scotsman author, is bigger than CNN in numbers. Not in saturation, of course, because CNN's freaking everywhere, but in numbers. So you kind of can't ignore that forever. And that's where we're at. We're at the time where the Chuds are winning. It's
Yeah.
total Chud victory at old MegaCon.
Yeah. So it's
And
awesome.
John Cena's showing up. That's interesting. Maybe Cena's been a Chud this whole time, and we just didn't know it. He's one of our boys. Maybe he was. We don't know.
Oh, he's just getting paid. William Shatner, of course,
What's
loves to go to these things.
Yep. Yep.
Go
He's
ahead,
the
Grim.
one that I'm worried about. I'm worried for Shatner. He's getting up there, getting way up there.
That's all right. He could pass away today, and I'd be happy. I mean, the dude's freaking had a life. I mean, in some ways, he's been more impactful than Chuck Norris in certain ways. Chuck is more of a life impact, whereas Shatner is entertainment pure, right? But his Denny Crane, his even his T.J. Hooker, his Tech Wars, of course, him as Captain Kirk, and then his just fight here the past decade and a half against wokeness. I mean, he's legitimately can't stand it, and I'm with you, brother, right? But William Shatner has turned out to be a dude that you could easily sit down and have a beer with and it'd be no problem at all, right? Now we know it took him a while to get there because back when he was young, he had frickin' ego on him, boy, right? But he learned, he grew out of it. He learned, like Leonardo DiCaprio, to be fair, he had similar path, I'd say. But this MegaCon, I've heard of it before, but I'm really wondering, is this some kind of weird creation of those guys, and I'm unaware? Let me.
no?
I don't
I
think
don't think
so.
so.
Let me just look it up because I have Orlando. Um, let me see if there's a wiki on it. There probably is. Well, that's not how you spell wiki. It would be nice if you spelled something correctly. God, still, what the hell is going on? My K button isn't working now. All right, there we go.
Mhm.
Oh yeah, MegaCon. Here we go. So large speculative fiction convention. You're right. It's a New York Comic Con, of course. It's tied to Comic Con. All right, as largest fan conventions. Attendance 200,000. It's a lot. Impact $250 million in 2024. Nope, it's back. I thought so. Yeah, it's just one of the old Gen Con spin-offs back in the 70s, dude. Yeah. That's what I thought. I thought so. So yeah, no, I just wanted to make sure we weren't stating the wrong thing. So all those nerdrotic boys, they just have the impact. Critical drinker and all those guys. They've just got the impact that they have been basically are dominating the entire this big mega convention. That's cool, dude. That's super cool. All righty, there it
Yeah.
is. But because I thought so, but I was like wondering, geez, look, you look at that schedule and it's like they just dominated, dude. These are all critical drinker and nerdrotic and gamergate people, all of them. Awesome, awesome, awesome.
Not
Because
even mentioned that in Eric July's panel that also had Zachary Levi, who was working with Mr. July.
yeah, yeah, that's true. No, he is. Zachary Levi, of course, the guy who plays Shazam. He's going to be at this. It didn't have him in the headline, but he is going to be here, and he's going to be on the panel with
Yeah,
Eric July. They are working
yeah.
together, which I'm
Well,
curious what
but
they're doing, and maybe next week we'll be able to tell you.
We'll find out. Maybe we will find out, folks. Did you see Chester? I don't know if you did. Old Chucky boy, old Mr. Dixon himself, the man, the myth, the living legend, has been making a little bit of waves on the internet
Yeah,
because he called out the new Superman movie as basically being cuck shit. He didn't say that. I'm paraphrasing heavily, but that Superman is too much of a big child. He's an emotional
no,
man child. He's not
exactly what we
Superman,
think. Yeah,
not masculine at all. Which is my main complaint with the movie is Superman acts more like a child. He acts like he's 18 years old and not 30. What are we doing
acts like
here?
a boy. Yeah, he
Yeah.
should have been Superboy, and he should got a younger actor, teenage actor, and I still would
Yep.
have hated it but I'm just saying. But he's 100% right. But then again,
Yep.
Chuck has an opinion, and he's not afraid to say it, which hurt him. You know?
It has hurt his career, but it has not hurt his legend, Mr.
Yeah,
Dixon. First, your name is Chuck Dixon, which is a great name.
it
That's an
is.
awesome name.
It
You were
is.
blessed by your parents and by the Lord to be born Chuck Dixon. Second, you made one of the most important characters in the history of comic books.
It's true.
So,
It is true. He's creator of Bane, by the way.
yes.
But yeah, no, Chuck's a great guy. He's part of our community. All these guys came up same time we did. right? And although I've been on Yellow Flash's show, I've I don't think I spoke to Eric. You did. I've spoken to Chuck. But these guys are all part of our group, and it's awesome.
Yep.
It's awesome. But nevertheless, let's go over and see what the movies look like, because a big movie did open this weekend that a lot of people are talking about and seemingly excited about. So let's see how Project Hail Mary did. It is number one, so it had the weekend. 140 million. It's not bad. It's not bad for opening
Nope.
weekend. It's not great either, but it's not a bad start. I have a feeling this movie cost money though,
Yeah,
right,
we'll
to
see.
make.
We'll see.
I don't know the budget on it, but I bet you it wasn't small. So we'll see how it goes. But a lot of people were talking about it and excited about it. I saw the trailer and I was like, okay, I don't understand the excitement, but rock on. But I haven't seen any reviews yet. Have you? I'm sure they're starting to come out.
I have not.
Yeah,
I have not, in fact, but I haven't been paying attention to it either. I
yeah,
completely forgot this movie even existed.
yeah.
It just doesn't interest me. I don't know why. It just
No,
doesn't grab me.
doesn't interest me either. But I will, of course, before next week's show, I will check out the reviews and see what the opinion is. But I did, as I said, this is a movie that my wife and I were talking about going to the theater to see, because we haven't been to the theater in a while. Last was that new Mission Impossible movie, and that was not worth the ticket. But nevertheless, we'll see. But it's not bad. 140 million, so 70 million in their pocket. But I have a feeling they need to put 2 to 300 million in their pocket to break even for this. I feel simply because it's Amazon. They always overspend, always.
Yep.
And it's got Ryan in it, and it's sci-fi. So this is not a cheap movie. But we'll see. But not a bad opening. Not bad. And we have Durandahar, The Revenge, number three. So an Indian movie, I guess. Uh,
More Bollywood. Holy crap, 4 hours. What are we doing?
wow. Yeah. Jaskirat Singh Rangi descends deeper into his alias. So this is a series of Hamza Ali Mazari rising through Karachi's criminal hierarchy to claim the featured title Sher el Barak while balancing loyalty, betrayal, and survival in a ruthless
What
underworld.
an ugly
So it's a
language. Ugh.
yeah, well, but it's so it's a crime thriller, and it didn't make a lot of money. So how in the hell is it number three for the weekend? Holy cow, dude! That's a bad weekend if that is number three. Wow. Project Hail Mary
Well,
took some money, but no one, everyone stayed home. Ready or Not 2, Here I Come. Um, I don't know this movie. Do I know this movie? I don't know this movie. This is the second one. Do
no,
you guys know this movie? I don't know this
never
I
heard of
do
it.
not.
movie. Yeah, I don't know this.
But I've been
Um,
checked out of movies, like the modern movies, because they've just been so many years of just dog shit.
yeah, no,
And
this
not
is
even politically, just bad movies. They're poorly made with terrible acting. No one's a star. No one has any star power. I mean, when you stop and look at who's got the big star power in Hollywood right now, they're all in their 40s and 50s or 60s or older.
they're
Like,
all
what are
old
we
people,
doing?
yeah. Well, this movie did put 6 million in the pocket. It's a horror movie from Searchlight, so it's dirt cheap. I doubt they made their money back, but it's probably they're probably happy about it. But that's a bad weekend though, dude. Look at that. Number
Yeah, not
13
good.
made number 3 made 13 million, and it's a foreign film. Wow, dude. Wow. What a bad weekend. So Zootopia 2 is still in the top 20.
That's
Uh,
wild. That's even still in the theaters. That's just crazy to me.
it is. It's since
Since
Thanksgiving.
November.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Let me see. Is anything? Hoppers is still doing all right. They're making some money. Scream 7 is still up there. Let me take a look here. Yeah, they've had a resurgence. They're making money on these Screams still. Um, Avatar's still up here in the top 10. Yeah, it's stalled though. It's not going to make the money it needs. They need to make $2 billion on that for him to have the money to make the next one. Seriously. He said that very openly. Um, this Bride we is a feminist tragedy. We know that's why everyone hated on it. Uh,
I
Mark,
also heard it's just a bad film, like just badly produced, badly
yeah,
composed. Mark by Sophia.
I have no, this is just vapid, self-interested shit. Mirrors number three. Is this? No, this isn't the cool one. This is gonna be dumb. Um,
3 theaters.
yeah, well,
Yeah,
okay.
I said it during COVID, man. This we are in the death throes of the movie theater experience. Theaters are going to go the way of drive-throughs. They'll still be out there. You'll still get some stuff, but I just don't see them surviving. The business model doesn't make sense anymore.
No,
Point
and
blank.
it's
Period.
no, you're right. The future is all online, whether you like it or not. Um,
Yep. And to be honest, most of the time, I hate this because I used to love going to the movies, but I much prefer just to watch. I had a big 60-inch screen TV in here. I'm good. I don't need to be sitting around a bunch of strangers making all kinds of noise with their smelly, stanky ass kids. I don't. I'm good. I just watch it here. Boop.
this right here is a movie that's trying to get it just did open in one theater for some purpose. It's super low budget. I don't even know Cartoona. I've never even heard of this company, although it definitely sounds like a movie I'd watch. Dead Lover. That's about the end of your imagination, huh? A lonely gravedigger who stinks of corpses finally meets her dream man, but their whirlwind affair is cut short when he tragically drowns at sea. Grief stricken, she goes to morbid lengths to resurrect him through madcap experiments. Yeah, that's definitely something I'd watch. Oh goodness, it's gonna be bad. It's gonna be bad. And last, the new one. This is period piece. Open in one theater. Actually, $705,000 in one theater is freaking really good. Um, So this is Janus film. I've heard of Janus. Okay. In the USSR in 1937, a newly appointed prosecutor discovers an undestroyed letter from a prisoner that reveals corruption in the secret police, the MKVD. His search for truth becomes dangerous. Oh, okay, fair enough. That's it. That's what we got. That
That's
was a
it.
badass. That was really bad weekend, and not badass in the good way. Really bad. Holy crap, dude. That might be the worst we've seen, dude. Look at that. Number three for the weekend is literally a freaking Bollywood, Muslim Bollywood movie,
Yep.
and it made $13 million worldwide. Wow, wow.
See, this is one of the main reasons I don't want the Western world to lose preeminence culturally when it comes to movies and things, is because then I have to look at titles like that. The hell is that nonsense?
Yeah.
Get out of here.
Well,
Stop it.
yeah, but at least I read it pretty well.
Yeah, but it's still nonsense. It's a nonsense language, Chester. We all know it. Everybody knows it. Even the Indians know it. That's why so many of them speak English. They know it.
Well, they all
Everybody
speak
knows it.
English. That is true.
Yeah.
Yeah. A bad ass weekend. Yes, thank you very much, Alan.
Yeah.
But so Sonic, new character coming. I don't know. I never played this character. I've just played Sonic. But I only played the side scrollers, like two or three different ones, and they were fun. But nevertheless, thank you all very much for coming in. We're still working on what we're going to do with Bugbear's Basement and what's a new campaign. We will get to that worked out when we do. But of course, later in the week on Friday, we do have Drawn a Quarter Ultimate Edition, which is a lot of fun. So come on back for that.
So y'all doing Chuck Norris at your own quarter or what?
We might. I have to wait and see. I don't really make those decisions. I just the host. But they might well shift from what they were planning for Chuck. And why not? There's a lot of stuff you can draw with Chuck.
Why
Um,
not?
why not? But last week we had a lot of fun. It was we did a little bit of uh, we did Resident Evil, but because 30th anniversary for Resident Evil. But Alan did something real fun. He made a Nemesis character, but it was a conglomeration of Disney characters.
Hmm.
It was funny. Yeah. Anyway, that's what I got.
That's it.
Grimlock, you got something to say to the peoples?
Yes, spring is finally here, and damn pollen to hell.
Oh,
I
okay.
agree.
Okay.
Damn pollen, straight to hell. Right
Oh,
to
you
hell.
have allergies like my wife. Yeah, she's got bad allergies too. Oh well. Yeah. Well, anyway,
It
take us out
happens.
of here, Thunder.
I'm gonna do this one. It's one I literally just now, just sitting here, just popped into my head, and I think it's good. A lot of people are very, very self-centered. I'd say most people are, but the truth is, the key to an actually happy life is to understand that your pain is not preeminent, your suffering is not sacred. Help other people, and you will be happier.
Yeah, that's true. Namaste. Definitely. Definitely. Later, everybody.